Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. And Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's can't make everything make sense. Like why your mom still listens to the radio or what she meant when she sent that emoji. But a zero sugar drink that's still full of fruit flavor, we made that make sense. And strawberry, passion fruit, Concord grape, and more. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
This week, in Dillsboro, Indiana, when a man is allegedly murdered by his normally sweet dog, detectives piece together a much darker plot. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another absolutely crazy edition of Small Town Murder. And we will not disappoint you today because this is wild stuff. We're going to Indiana. Very fun. Before we get started, just want to say thanks to everybody for everything that you've done for us. One live show left this year. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com is where you get those tickets. Dallas, December the 2nd. So get in there before they're all gone and come see us. That'll be a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone who's come out to shows this year. Boston was amazing recently, and virtual live show was great. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. So do that. And new tour dates for 2024 will be up soon, actually. They're going to be out pretty soon, hopefully within the next month. So we're exciting. Start making your plans. Very exciting. Good stuff. Patreon.com/crimeandsports is where you get all the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above. Absolutely. A cup of coffee will get you instead of a cup of coffee, which is gone in, 20 minutes. Instead, you'll get a couple $100 back episodes of bonus stuff to binge on, and then new ones every other week. It's the best bargain going. And what we'll have this week for you is for Crime and Sports, which you'll have access to. That bonus will be about Donnie Moore, which is one of the more tragic things you'll ever see. A guy have a bad, whenever somebody has something bad happen to them in sports, like they, miss a clutch free throw shot at the end or something, you go, God, what's that going to do to them in their life normally? Just is it going to break them down?
What must that be like?
And normally they're fine. That's what ends up happening. Yeah. They're fine. This guy, not fine. It's a complete collapse of his entire life from then on. It's insane. Oh, boy. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the Menendez brothers. They're going to get their due finally, so we'll talk about them. That's patreon.com/Crime in Sports, and that's the name of our other podcast, Crime in Sports, which you should be listening to. If you're not, because we're doing some murdery stuff over there, check it out. We got a bona fide serial killer right now. We're doing a multi-parter on, so check him out. And also, your stupid opinions. You certainly want to hear your stupid opinions. Oh, man, is it funny. Definitely check that out. Add it to your Monday morning routine. So do that and keep hanging out with us. Quick disclaimer: it's a comedy show, everybody. We're comedians. This is going to be a terrible murder story, obviously.
Yes.
Awful stuff's going to happen, but jokes are also going to happen. What we do, though,
that's for sure.
This is the thing. What we do here, we go out of our way not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why is that, James?
Because we're assholes.
Yeah, but
we're not scumbags. That's how that goes. So there you go. So if you think that true crime and comedy never ever go together, we might not be for you. This might not be for you, but it might be. That's the thing. You might be looking at it the wrong way. Give it a shot and see, but no complaining later. That said, I think it's time, everybody. I think it's time to clear the lungs. What do you say? Let's all clear the lungs. Let's get ready. Arms to the sky. And let's all shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this. What do you say, everybody?
Okay.
Let's go on a trip. Let's do it. We are going to Indiana. Here we go. Now, Indiana, this is an episode we've done as a live show in several cities this year. This is the Dillsboro, Indiana episode, and so it's a crazy story. Anyone that we pick for a live show, it has to have a visual aspect to it. It's got to be crazy. This is no different. Always. We're going to Dillsboro, Indiana. Oh, boy. It's in southeastern Indiana. It's like right on the border there of like trying to escape Indiana, really.
Is it Indiana's Dillsboro?
It's the Dillsboro. Well, the Dillsboro is the Dillsboro. See, you got your pucker brush.
It sounds like a nickname for your asshole. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got your pucker brush around it, and then that leads to your Dillsboro. That's how it works. In case anybody was wondering about that.
Yeah.
This is about an hour and a half to Indianapolis. So if you want to go someplace, a little more, just as dull, really, but,
Yeah.
And then
more industrious.
More industrial anyway. 45 minutes to Cincinnati over there, so, pretty close to the airport. Yeah. And then 4 hours and 20 minutes to Trail Creek, Indiana, which is our last Indiana episode, which was Dismembering Grandma, which is one of my favorite titles. Trail Creek, Dismembering Grandma. What a great title. So this is in Dearborn County, area code 812 for Dearborn County. Little bit of history quickly on Dearborn here, or on Dillsboro and then Dearborn County. Dillsboro was laid out in 1830. It was named for a guy named James Dill, who we'll talk about him. He was a general in the War of 1812 and all this type of shit. Now, Dill, he's so prominent that you can't even find a painting of him from back in the day. Like, there's no...
They're such big fans.
We don't know that no one even just made an image to go, he existed. So he's nothing there, can't find him, anything like that. But he's a local resident, and the Dillsboro Post Office was established in 1837, and they spelled it right now it's Dillsboro, or Boro, Dillsboro. It used to be Ough. Until 1893, and they were like, this is just extra letters we don't have to write.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
I heard that about Marlboros. Marlboros used to be like that, too.
Yeah, pointless. What are we doing here? Yeah, pointless. So Dearborn County here was named after a Revolutionary War and War of 1812 general named Henry Dearborn. He was an American military officer and a politician, and in the Revolutionary War, he served under Benedict Arnold. So,
that's not good.
That's quite the distinction for you there. Yeah. My boss turned out to be a real dickhead in the last one. So,
the War of 1812. What I'm just because I look, they're very proud of the two guys that were a part of it. What was the war for?
It was Britain too. Fucking tea and crumpet boogaloo. There we were having. Okay. We had to. Right. Yeah,
it was more. It was more anger.
They're back for more. Here we go.
The anger's still there.
This Sunday at the Cobo Hall, it's the Redcoats are back for more. Sunday.
Is that what it was? We had to kick the Brits' ass again?
Yeah, there was other, not exactly the same beefs, but they were involved, and there was a bunch of other people. Right. It's a little complicated for right now, but,
I'm sorry. Let's not make it a history lesson, but I got it.
More our speed. Let's talk about some reviews of this town and figure out what's going on here. Yeah. There's only one review of the town because it's a small town, as we'll find out. So there's not a lot of reviews, but I found something else there that we'll talk about. Don't worry. So here is the review. 3 stars for Dillsboro. Being a small community, we have 2 part-time police officers. That's their police force.
That's frightening. Yeah.
2 part-time officers. We just ignore crime a lot of the day, pretty much.
That leaves the shift open. Unless these are 2 part-time officers working 12-hour shifts every day.
Well, then they wouldn't be part-time. They'd be full-time. Yeah, they got to be working under 40 hours.
That's all their time.
So they're either working 3 12s apiece, and one day is just fucking,
nothing day. Yeah,
live and let live. Or we don't know. Yeah, or they're working every day 4-hour shifts, and they give half the day or 2/3 of the day to the night. I don't know what
one way or another. Some crime's not being documented. And
I would say
it has to be.
They do an excellent job in keeping our town safe and crime low. So apparently they're doing a great job, this person. But there's very few people here. That's, I think, more attributed to there being not a lot of people around. So we are very fortunate to have a very safe community. Again, if it's just there's nobody around, who's going to do anything to anybody? It's difficult. So because there's not a lot of reviews, I'm like, well, we can't really get the fabric of this town from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how do you gather it?
Yeah, so let's go to a business here and figure out what's going on. Okay. Let's say we had to go to Dillsboro. Our car breaks down on the way from the Cincinnati airport to Indianapolis. What are we supposed to do now? We're going to have to stay somewhere. So I found us a place to stay at the Hillcrest Motel here. Okay. And so let's find out a little bit about what they have to say here. Here's a guy named David who gives it 1 star. Okay, well, that's not good. All right. Well, quote, "It was the worst place I have ever stayed, and I do a lot of traveling for my job." That's bad. The worst, by far. Let's find out why. Maybe he's exaggerating. Maybe he's hyperbolic. That's all. He's just likes to throw shit out there. "Room is nasty. Looks like they never changed the sheets or blankets." And then this is my favorite thing of any review we've ever done of anything. He tries to say definitely and instead says defiantly have bed bugs, which I think is more accurate, really.
That's fantastic.
Defiantly is more accurate, probably.
They refuse to be cleanly around.
They will not get rid of these bed bugs. Defiantly. Listen, they're all paid up for a month, so they're not leaving. The bed bugs were here. They paid in advance. We can't kick them out. So he says, and when you try to tell them about it, they get mad and tell you they're going to call the police on you.
What do you want us to do? Throw them out? That would be inhumane.
What's the crime? I'd love to know what the crime would be if the police showed up. Reporting vermin? I don't know. Is that a crime?
I don't know. Forcing people to thieve services? I don't know.
In this town, buddy, we take the bugs and we hold them close to our bosom, okay? That's how we do it. We nurture them.
They're protected around these parts.
Yeah, those are endangered bed bugs. Is that what's happening here? Oh, wow.
It's a very rare species of the Indiana bedbug.
Very rare. They bite a lot. They're really rare. They really bite
They got molars, friend.
They bite the shit out of you. Like, seriously, they go back for seconds. So, yes, they call the police on you. But I think they need to do that to the people that are working on their cars and other stuff in the parking lot at 3 a.m.
What?
At 3 a.m. There's people like, I see people bench pressing and like fucking wrenching and shit like it's a prison yard.
Yeah, those people are stealing your catalytic converter. They're not servicing your AC.
No. Wow, these mechanics are terrible. Everybody's car sounds like shit.
Best damn service ever, though. They do it while you sleep.
It's not bad. I would never recommend ever staying there. Never and ever, one word apart.
Nice. Real
Never
nice.
recommend ever staying there to anyone. Never, ever, anyone. I would rather sleep in my car. That's nice.
Okay.
At least manager would not come in whenever they please, unannounced, and tell you at 8 a.m. it's time for you to go.
Get out!
Out now. Check out till I don't want to hear it. Out. Let's go. The bed bugs said they're tired of you.
Wake up.
Oh,
Get
I
out!
I think it's more like, you go now. I think they scream. As we'll find out here. This guy I loved, 2 stars. This guy takes it on himself. It's his bad. Quote, you should look harder for another place to stay. I needed to plan better and have a wider search area. This was a last-minute choice. This is all what he says.
Yeah.
It's all on me. Slightly better than sleeping on the side of the road. So the one guy said he'd rather sleep in his car. This guy said slightly better, no car, just sleeping.
Yeah.
Just in a sleeping bag on the highway as cars go by at 65 miles an hour.
I didn't hear mention a sleeping bag.
No, just curled up. Cars flying by him.
Yeah.
Holy
Just pulling
shit.
up a piece of Indiana and sleeping on it.
Oh, my God. And then finally, here's Cody with 1 star. Would rate 0 stars. Okay. The owners are rude and snoop through your room when you're gone. That's not good.
Well,
you have to pay 50 cents for each scoop of ice.
Oh.
Okay.
That's steep. That's a high ice price.
That seems like a lot. Yeah, when ice melts, you're paying 50 cents for like half a cup of water. That's really
nothing.
not good.
Yeah.
Really nothing. They say checkout time is 11, but kick you out at 9:30. Oh, you got an extra hour and a half, and fucking the other guy didn't even get that.
You slept in, my.
It's
my
8
guy.
a.m.
That's a pretty good day.
They gave you late checkout. That's nice of them. No free coffee, like they say. Roach-infested rooms. Why do you want their coffee? Don't drink coffee from there. Filtered through roach carcasses.
Anything you're putting in your mouth that's from there.
Oh, man. An owner is a cheapskate, very rude. If you have a problem at night, he says, quote, no come in office. And owner is a straight perv.
Whoa.
Caught him peeping in my bathroom. That's a big complaint.
Yeah.
Start with that.
That's the first one.
First sentence. First sentence
Very
should be,
first
owner
sentence,
was
this guy
snooping
just
in
said
my
the
bathroom.
owner's rude. Rude
Yeah.
is an understatement, man.
He's friendly,
Did he
obviously,
comment?
but he's a pervert also is the problem.
Did
That
he
should be the
comment
first
on
thing.
size?
Should be caught owner peeping in my bathroom, and other stuff sucks too. That should be, that's fine.
Yeah, he's certainly out of order on severity of complaint.
Wow. Avoid this place at all cost. You've been warned. Don't say you wasn't. Everybody, don't you say you wasn't. Because you was.
I don't want to hear nothing about this man saw your dick too.
No.
You've been
Oh, my
warned.
God.
Don't say you wasn't.
Don't say you wasn't. Bed bugs, roaches,
Holy
perverts,
shit.
8 a.m. checkout. This 50-cent scoops of ice.
Oh,
This
my.
place is a dream. People in this town, 1,423. So,
Okay.
1,423, not
Very-
a lot of people. Yeah.
It's
Small.
shocking that there's a necessity for a hotel at all.
I think it's just a pass-through. It's not,
Yeah.
it's
Just
not
in
like
case
people are.
somebody's too sleepy to keep driving.
I think that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a tourist destination or anything.
Yeah.
Male, females, about even. Couple more males than females, which is kind of flip-flop from the norm. Median age is a little bit low. It's 33. Family here, more married families than other places. A little more people are single with children. Race of this town, 98.1% white, 1.4% black, and 0.6% Hispanic. So it's pretty, it's it's just a tiny town. There's not a lot of people here. Religion in this town, 40.7% are religious, and it's spread around pretty good, honestly. There's a few Catholics, some Lutherans, a Baptist or two, maybe a Methodist here and there, sprinkle in. 0.0% Jewish, though. That's not happening around these parts. Dearborn County, here in this county, last election, 21.5% voted Democrat, 76.9% Republican, 1.6% Independent. Unemployment rate here is about average. Median household income, though, is below average here by a good shot. Median household income here is $39,120 a year, which is a good sight lower than the rest of the country. Cost of living, though, 100 is regular average. Here it's 86, and the housing is the low thing. Median home cost here, $172,600, which is low.
Wonderful
for the rest of the country. So
affordable.
maybe you want to be here. Maybe you want to be close to the Covington, Kentucky airport. Well, we have for you, in case you do, the Dillsboro, Indiana real estate report. The average two-bedroom rental here goes for $879, and I looked up the apartment complex because there is one apartment kind of complex, and they're like kind of brand new and nice looking, decent, so it might be the deal here. I found a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,190 square feet. It's on 1.32 acres, so it sounds decent, but it's literally falling apart. It looks like if you go inside, it's going to be dangerous. It's like the roof could fall in at any time.
Defiantly have termites.
Defiantly has termites. The house isn't all one, like, it's not all even. Like, if you put a level on it, it would be all fucked up. Like, it looks like it goes in.
A little wonky.
Like it broke in one area. You know what I mean? It's not good. It's a problem here. But it is on 1.3 acres there's some woods behind you. $59,900 for that. So,
well, that's affordable.
Yeah, knock that house to the ground and build a new one here. Here is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 768 square feet. So it's this little house. The attractive thing about it is it's on Sesame Street. So that's nice. If you'd like your address to be on Sesame Street, you have that. But it's not that great of a house. It's kind of dingy inside, hasn't been touched, looks like since about 1975. It's, it's old and not great. $109,000 for it, though.
Oh.
So, I mean, that's cheap anyway, if you want to redo something.
You can be a homeowner,
Next up, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, T-bowl for each and every bee-hole. 4,176 square feet, so a big old house here. A lot of house.
And only 3 bedrooms? That's a giant house.
It's a lot of house. 24.79 acres, so a lot of land, too.
Oh, my. Yeah.
A good chunk of Indiana. It's a big log cabin, and everything in it is wood. The inside, the countertops are the only surface that aren't wood in this entire house. Everything, the walls, the ceiling, everything is cedar. It looks like a fucking hamster cage in there.
Good God.
It must reek. Like, you could just piss anywhere in there and it would be fine. You wouldn't even notice it, like a hamster cage. It's weird.
That's a lot of splinters.
There's like bear pelts everywhere on the wall. It's a weird place.
No. Yeah.
There's a pond and an above ground pool for all. It's a very strange place, but it is
trash place.
It's so strange. $699,000 for all that, though.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's in Phoenix. That would be about $12 million, I think, for that kind of land. And
20 acres?
House.
Oh my God! Forget it. That's $30 million.
25, just about. Yeah, that's already $699. Things to do. Maybe the dumbest thing to do we've ever seen ever. The mystery elephant.
Oh, boy.
Okay? It's a giant concrete elephant that's sitting on a trailer. It's been towed there. It sits in a field surrounded by a chain link fence that's rusted. And people come and stare at it. And they go, wow, what is it?
They can't believe it?
How'd it get here?
I can't believe it.
I can't believe how'd it get here. Number one, someone towed it here. It's not like it's from mythical times. It's on a trailer.
It's on wheels.
It's on a fucking trailer. So it's been since cars. They're looking like it, like, oh man, it's been maybe the Mayans put it here. It's like the pyramids. It's not. People look at it. If you do a Google search, so you can easily find out what it is. The woman, I guess, who's the daughter of the guy who owned it, posted a big thing about it. Her father owned like some kind of business where he put it outside, like a car dealership or something. Okay. So it would stay. It's a giant fucking concrete elephant. So you go, oh, come down where the elephant is. You can't miss us. That kind of shit. You know.
Sure.
So that
old car dealership gimmick thing.
Yeah. Then he closed his business down, which is fucking whatever. So he took it home and put it in his yard.
Yeah, it's got to go somewhere.
And his wife said, get that fucking thing out of my front yard. Are you kidding me? It's the size of the house. Get it out of my front yard.
It's that big.
It's not that big, but it's like a fucking small elephant. I mean, it's an elephant. Yeah. It's huge.
It's a fucking elephant.
It's a goddamn small elephant. It's like a Dumbo-sized elephant, like compared to the other elephants, how Dumbo was.
There's a reason the saying is elephant in the room, because it's so big, everybody notices it. It's right there.
We all see it. This is an elephant in the field. So it turns out the father then had to bring it here. He owned land that's above a decommissioned missile base or some kind of military thing where the guy stores a shitload of classic cars underground. So underground classic cars, and then he just put the elephant there because he had nowhere else to put it, and people come and stare at it like it's some mystical, it's going to tell them something about their life. It's hilarious.
Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Look at it.
Look at it.
Meanwhile, there's like a Camaro underneath it. Like something amazing is down there.
Yeah, all sorts of cool. 67 fucking 71 Cudas down there. It's just not happening. So, and then quickly, there's also the Dillsboro Homecoming Festival, which features not only a badass frog jumping contest that we'll talk about.
Oh yeah.
Tons of like cover bands, and they have wrestling there. The Professional Wrestling Alliance is there, and also a prince and princess, a king and queen, a senior king and queen, and an outstanding citizen award, which is funny. And
I don't know what that person did.
It does say though, for the frog jumping contest, it says all critters must be pure frog. No frog/dogs, frog/rabbit combos. It says. So I don't know if you were planning on genetically splicing together two animals that don't go together and entering them in a contest, you're not allowed. Just to let you know,
we're on to you already.
Yeah, we got you. It's there. So crime rate in this town here, what we're interested in here, the property crime slightly above average. So not as safe. Maybe if you got more than 2 part-time police officers, you'd be able to quell that possibly, but.
Maybe add one.
Oh, God. If I was a 14-year-old kid, I'd be running wild in that town when there's no... They're all off duty. Ha ha. Fucking, I saw the one having a barbecue. It's time.
All the cops are into something, man. Let's go.
Man. Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime is slightly low. So slightly below average. But how are you going to be killing people when there's 1,400 people here?
Because nobody's here to stop you.
Ain't nobody here to stop me. That said, let's talk about some murder. All right.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. All right. Let's start out talking about. Let's talk about a man.
Yeah.
And when I say a man, I don't mean like me or you. I mean a real man. You know.
He's doing it.
Yeah. I mean, we're technically men, but we're not. We're not like
genetically. I got one of those.
We're not like we're not like guys. Like if you gave us a pile of wood and a big and a few boxes of nails and said make a shelter, we'd go, oh, I don't know about that. We just lean the wood against each themselves and make a teepee basically and sit in it. We wouldn't even
2x4s and nails. No.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
I'm gonna need more tools than this.
We're gonna need a lot more people too. Do you know anybody who knows how to do this sort of thing? Because neither of us do. That would help too. So this guy, though, different kind of cat. He's one of his friends called him a kind, affable, hard-working man.
Yeah,
that's what he's called here. His name's Raymond Green. And now Raymond Green, born in 1950, he did everything in his life is like tough. like all tough stuff. Like, he's a cowboy. He breaks bareback
Man stuff.
He bareback breaks broncos. He'll just hop on a fucking wild horse and make it his own in like a minute, like shit like that. He's does things like that. He served 2 tours in Vietnam in the Airborne Division.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's in the Army Airborne Division, and he said, I'm going back for more. I didn't get quite my fill. I need another one.
You don't treat Vietnam like Splash Mountain. Like,
no,
you gotta
one more time.
One is good.
Short, everybody, get back on. Let's go.
Well, you got a fast pass for Vietnam, man. What
Jesus
are you doing?
Christ, he's going back. His brother said, quote, I called him Freebird.
Yeah. All right.
So his nickname is Freebird.
Okay.
He loved to be on the ranch around the animals. That's his favorite thing to do. Well, or dropping out of a plane. One of the two.
Airplane,
so,
into fucking rice paddies. He's crazy.
His friend Dave, who really, really likes him a lot. His friend Dave, I think his friend, maybe a little crush on him, possibly something like that. But in like a, you know what I mean? Like a, not in a, you know, I want to stick it in his Dillsboro kind of way, but just like
just more like I admire his Dillsboro.
Exactly. Looks up to his Dillsboro.
A nice one.
Yeah, man, his puckered brush is trimmed all nice.
Just looks so good.
Looking good. So Dave said, quote, when you shook his hand, you knew you were shaking a man's hand.
Oh.
That's right. He said he was very powerful, very strong. That's Raven.
Yeah.
You knew you were. Now, has anyone ever said that about you or me?
No.
Not to single you out, either one of us. Man, when you shook Jimmie and James's hand, you knew you were shaking a man's hand. Very powerful, very strong.
I was gonna say, they're warm like there's circulation.
Yeah. Hey, soft. You guys don't do much, do you?
I think he's alive. I think that's what he is.
Oh, he was pretty warm. Yeah, that's good.
I felt some resistance.
There was something. There was a little up and down coming from his
general
side.
Apprehension.
Yeah.
Maybe discomfort.
He went with me like when you're doing a Ouija board. You know, everybody just kind of goes with it. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well.
Right.
And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show. Yeah.
So another friend of his, Bob Stevens, has another tale of Ray's insane fucking just toughness. He says he remembers a time when there was a 12-foot alligator that they needed to deal with on their property at the ranch.
It just showed up on the ranch?
It just showed up. This is not in Texas. This is later on in Florida, obviously. I don't know about how many because he's living in San Antonio. I don't know how many alligators are in the San Antonio area, but not as many as Florida.
I think they number in the few.
Very few, probably, alligator. Just a guy named Alligator. That's what they have. Some guy who runs like a custom car rim shop whose name is Alligator.
I bet all of the gators there are on people's motorcycles. Just like leather, the seat or their jacket.
Boots, belts.
There's people in San Antonio that went to Florida and bought a souvenir.
Exactly. Well, this was a 12-foot alligator, and Bob Stevens, his friend, said, quote, "We contacted animal control." They should be able to deal with a big alligator, right? You think?
They'll handle it, yeah.
They have equipment. They have the traps for them, that they put them in.
Yeah.
He said they set up traps, and this gator was so big, it would just break all the traps.
It broke them.
So the things that are made to catch this alligator and the people who are experts in handling them, they have no ideas. They're out of ideas.
They put their hands up.
Hands up.
We threw the sink at it, and it threw it back.
It just said, fuck off, and it kept doing what it was. It gave us the finger, this alligator, which is weird. We didn't expect that.
Yeah.
He said, quote, "Ray trapped it himself with his bare hands and put it in the barn." He just grabbed it.
Wow.
12-foot gator breaking fucking traps made for it. And Ray went, "You some bitch," and just went over there and grabbed it. Picked it up.
May I?
Picked it up and put it in the barn and then told it to sit. And it did, probably.
How dare the crocodile hunter call himself that when this guy did it like this?
Walking around. Yeah. Just threw it in there. Now you stay right there. And it was like, sorry. Like, shake. And it was like, okay.
I got it, Ray. I understand.
Hoof up. Sorry I gave that guy the finger. That wasn't right. I apologize.
That was mean of me.
That's right. You sitting here and you think about what you've done, and then he goes out back to his business.
I'm shocked that his idea was, I'll grab some electric tape or whatever the fuck he did, because you gotta tape the mouth shut, right?
He just grabbed the mouth. He grabbed it on both sides. He held the mouth shut and dragged him to the barn. That's what I mean. This guy is like, would you even consider that as an option?
No, I'd just be like, I can shoot it, right, guys? I mean, you guys are the professionals, and he's breaking everything you've got. So
I would move before I would attempt that. I would pack up my shit and leave. I'd say the alligator took over the property. I can't.
Can I put like a stick of TNT in a fried chicken and throw it at it? Can I do that?
Is that possible?
Hopefully it'll eat it and then it blows up.
If my only option is barehand it or not, I'm not doing that.
There's got to be a weapon that can do this.
Yeah. I'm not going to just walk over and go, "Come here, you son of a bitch," and grab it around the mouth and drag it to a barn.
Me.
And now it's in a barn. What do you do with it then?
Yeah.
Now you have a barn alligator? What if you need to get in there?
Barn gators are the worst ones.
That's what barn gator. I was going to say, I hear barn gators are a major problem in the Florida Panhandle. I hear around Tallahassee area. Yeah. They have a real problem with barn gators. It's a big deal. They just live in there. You get a whole family of them living in a corner, and they'll just take over that son of a bitch.
And if it's 12 feet, he doesn't know if this thing's a male or a female. What if it's got eggs in there that he just threw in the barn, and now it's going to lay eggs in your barn?
Go. Now you got more barn gators.
Family of barn gators.
And they're going to grow up thinking that's their home. That's the problem. You can't get them out of there.
They're going to come out of there calling you mama.
They're worse than termites once they get into the barn wood. They just burrow themselves right in there.
You see one, there's 10,000 of them.
You know there's a whole bunch more gators where you see one. They're hiding under everything.
Yeah.
So his wife, he's got a wife here. Her name is Maggie, and they have known each other since he was 11 and she was 6. That's not when they got married, thankfully, but they've known each other. So forever, they've known each other. They've always gotten along. They have a daughter named Tracy, and they seem to have quite the idyllic little family. I mean, they lived, as Tracy says, that her father had a special way with all kinds of animals, which we've demonstrated clearly already.
I've heard
that he does. They grew up on a 200-acre San Antonio ranch, Tracy said she grew up on.
200 acres?
Yep. She said, quote, "My dad was a real cowboy. He began his career riding bulls and bareback broncos." Began his career. She said he always wore his cowboy hat and boots, never went anywhere without them. So we got a pretty good picture of this guy. I mean,
hell yeah.
He's the type of guy that he's not just wearing a hat and some boots because he thinks it's a fashionable thing to do.
I've been counting all the things he's afraid of, James, and I've gotten to 0.
It doesn't seem to be much. Giant gators don't register. The Viet Cong don't seem to be a problem. He seems to be pretty...
Heights, the Viet Cong, flying through the air.
Jumping out of a plane, that's no problem. And then... an alligator with your bare hands also, which seems terrifying. Nope, he's fine. A bareback bronc, just a wild horse. Those are dangerous.
Yeah.
They'll kick the shit out of you. They'll bite you and everything else. Nope, he's got that too. He's tough. He turns into a very good horse trainer and horse breeder.
Sure,
because he can just tell them what to do and they do it, I think.
Right.
He goes, you walk over there and trot, and they're like, sorry.
I don't have any horses that don't make babies around here because I tell them. And they
make
do
babies. I mean, I do play a little like Luther Vandross in the background, though. I'm not a monster, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's a machine just going there pumping away. I play a little something to set the mood, but then I go, y'all two get to it. That's what I mean. Let's do this.
Find her hot and make me more horses.
Make me more. And he did. His daughter, Tracy, said he did. He had, we had like 70-something horses, she said.
Jesus.
So, this guy's good at what he does. Everything, that's the other thing, too. Everything he touches, he's good at. Like, he's good at things. He puts his mind to things, and he does them. He's really a stand-up dude. So his friend Dave said exactly that. He said he's a real straight shooter, which, there you go. And also, Ray and Maggie get along terrifically. They have their daughter, Tracy's very happy. Everybody's happy. It's idyllic. They have a client named Danielle, Danny, she goes by. She starts coming around in 2001. She was born in 1972, so she's 20 years-ish younger than these two, than Maggie and Ray. But she's a horse person, and Ray at this time is, like the head of a human body of a horse. You know what I mean, right?
You can't say horse person without me seeing that.
Whenever I hear it, I think of fucking H. John Benjamin's book when he's talking about going away to 4-H camp, and he said, horse people, though, don't mince words, is my favorite line that anybody's ever said, and it's in that book. It's so fucking funny. Horse people, though, don't mince words. Yeah.
Great tits, 4 legs, long tail.
She's got the tits of a human woman, but the rest of her. The head and tits of a human woman with the body of a horse. So Ray is doing farrier work as well as his training and breeding, which is, if you don't know, a blacksmith who shoes and trims hooves of horses. So he'll take your horse. Mechanic. He'll throw some fucking new Jordans on him and get them ready to go.
Hell yeah.
So there you
he
go.
makes them.
Got them dunks for you, and he just puts them on him. Nice.
Yeah.
So they met through that. That's how Danny starts coming around, and she brings her horses there to be shoed. And he would trim and shoe her horses. And she's a longtime client of theirs. She starts, she comes for a couple years. She's known as a very skilled horsewoman. And she first hired Ray back in 1996 to start training her horses to do
5 years ago.
Stuff. Yeah. They call her, everybody says she's very disciplined. Danny Green, she spends a lot of her time, her energy, her money on horses. She's all about horses. Dusk to dawn horses. Actually, dawn to dusk. That'd be weird if she just did shit at night.
That's so. God damn it! I'm so glad we don't do that anymore.
It's dark out. I'm going out for the horses now. Horses are very confused trying to sleep. So that's what she does. Now, May 27th, 2002, tragedy occurs here.
Oh,
Maggie Green, Ray's wife, dies on May 27th, 2002. Which is horrible. It's a horrible thing, and not the murder, by the way. This is not our murder. This is, normally it would sound like we got this guy, then a lady comes around, now the wife is dead, but no, nothing like that at all. Actually, she was driving on the I-40, the Interstate 40, and a barge slammed into the bridge that the 40 had, plunging a dozen cars 75 feet into the water.
This is why, man. This is why I hate
bridges.
Oh, boy.
And killing
That's frightening.
Killing everyone
God.
who
and she's
went into
one
the
of
water.
them.
And she was one of them, yes. Maggie
Good
dies.
God.
in a horribly tragic way.
Yeah, that's why you hate. Oh, I would hate bridges forever.
No shit.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Lloyd, Bo, Jeff,
Nash, everybody. All the bridges.
Nash bridges.
That shit too, God damn it. Fuck you, Don Johnson. That's the one with Don Johnson, right? I think.
Whatever the fuck that show was supposed to be. I don't know. Yeah.
Is that Don Johnson or Chuck Norris? Who's in that show?
Chuck is Texas Walker Ranger.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the other ones, Nash Bridges is Don Johnson and Cheech, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. That is not good.
It's a bad show.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, lump them in with the rest of the bridges.
Fuck all the bridges.
That's not good. And I guess Ray was devastated by Maggie being killed.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been together forever.
Dude, that would ruin you. Yeah.
And they're very happy, too. They weren't like, he wasn't like, whew, dodged a bullet on that one.
No.
Now I ain't got to kill her for the insurance. It wasn't like that or anything. He was very sad here. He said, Tracy said he just kept saying, I miss my Rose. I miss my Rose.
Oh.
She said he just wasn't the same guy after that. Yeah. He just was very depressed. But as a bright side, obviously this isn't going to bring somebody back, but he does receive about $1 million from his wife's estate and in a settlement from the bridge collapse. So, yeah, I assume whoever operated that. Whoever's
barge
operating that barge
fucked. Yeah.
had to know their barge is taller than the bridge, and that's their fault. That's not the bridge didn't get lower overnight, probably.
Yeah.
So
there's got to probably be some sort of app that tells them which route to take and how high your rig is, and because trucks have it. You know what I mean? Truckers have it in their TomTom.
Yeah, even pre-TomTom, I'm believing that there would be, like, you can't go under this bridge. Right. If you're going on this waterway, you can't because this height isn't allowed on there.
Maybe the water was too high.
Regulations.
Maybe the water was raised.
That's possible. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I think you got to have pretty good clearance, though. I don't think you can be like, yeah, you should be able to make it. I don't think they'll let you. You should be good. I don't think they'll let you do that.
Some guy up in a crow's nest like, yeah, we're good, I think.
I think we're good. I mean, the water's a little high, but you might scrape her, but I don't think it's going to be a real big problem. I don't think anyone's letting that go, probably. You probably have to get a good clearance on that thing, I would think.
You're probably
right?
okay.
You're probably good, I think. Yeah, you're all right. So, oh, man. So Ray's sitting around. He's depressed. He's upset. Yeah. His love of his life is gone, and I feel for the guy. That's awful, and that's at this point, too. He's like, 53 years old.
Shit.
And he's lost his wife. They were planning on living their golden years together here and having a nice retirement and living their lives together. And now that's all dashed. So what do you do? About 2 months goes by, and then Danny starts coming around. Danny just starts, the horse lady, she starts coming around. Hey, everybody, what's going on around here? I mean, but 2 months is a respectable amount of time to wait. That's decent.
It?
I think so. 2 months? What are you supposed to do?
2 months? I don't know.
You wait any longer, someone else is going to swoop in there. This is a desirable cat here. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's got land.
But, I mean, for
money.
him,
he's
smart. You got to grieve. Like, that's a long time to be with somebody, and then them not be there in the morning is fucked up.
I'm not saying 2 months you fucking kick the door in and start blowing him, but, maybe you start, hey, maybe you want to go get some lunch sometime and just try to socialize with them and see if it
pizza joint.
Something like they'll grab a pizza. I don't know, something. It seems like it's borderline probably, but
it's certainly early, but who's to say?
Yeah, I'm not going to judge. I mean, who knows, too? Yeah, maybe he said, what have you been up to? Maybe he invited her to start coming around, too. We don't know. That's the other thing. So she starts spending more time around the ranch when she drops a horse off, and she'll hang out for a couple hours, and they'll talk and hang out, and then they start socializing, too. They're hanging out. There's pictures of them, like, hanging out, drinking beers together and just being people.
I was say some tea, but, booze is good.
Yeah, being people, because it's around this exact time that that she is getting a divorce from her husband. So
she's got a tough gig going too.
Yeah, her marriage is falling apart. His wife is dead. These two are kind of leaning on each other, and both of them
meet
somebody.
He's very affectionate. Yeah.
And he's and he's into horses. She's into horses. Yeah. They have the same interests. It's a decent match. I mean, it's decent. So this is all going on now. Tracy She doesn't really like Danny, and for good reason, as we'll find out here for Tracy. Bob Stevens said Ray didn't chase her. Because a lot of people are like, oh, and then he must be chasing her because she's 20 years younger and all that. Bob Stevens says Ray didn't chase her. She came into Ray's life and, said the things that Ray wanted to hear, and then that blossomed into a relationship. Sure. That's this guy's point of view is, but that's because he's friends with Ray, so he's going to think that. So, but I mean, they were good companionship for each other. They hung out. They genuinely enjoyed each other's company. What do you want from people?
Yeah, and when somebody fills a need that you've got, you know what I mean? Like there's a void somewhere in your life when that person. There's a lot of people that I know that I'm like, why do you hang out? Not even date or married to. Why do you hang out with that guy? And they're just like, I don't know. He seems to be fine. And
he's there.
He fixes something that he needs, and that's fine.
How many friends do you have that if you could clear the decks of amnesia, none of those people remember you're your friends, and you could weed out different ones. You wouldn't have all of your friends that way. It's just people who have you fall into relationships with people, and they end up. The next thing you know, you have to talk to them once in a while. That's right.
All. We show up at the same restaurant once a week or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, whatever bullshit you've decided to make a relationship out of. So. And this seemed to help him move on from losing his wife and kind of brought him out of his funk also, which, some lady will do that for you. And she's attractive too. She's attractive. She's in shape. She's always riding horses. She's like athletic and stuff. So, he's into her, she's a younger lady. May of 2004, out of nowhere, Tracy says, quote, they took a vacation and came back married.
Yikes.
So they went off and eloped out of nowhere.
Oh, my.
No one expected it. Tracy said, I was happy that he was happy. I mean, that was good. He seemed happy. But not happy with Danny at all. No. Not at all. Well, listen to this shit. Tracy said, quote, she would come out wearing my mother's cowboy hats and her nice cowboy boots and some of my mom's jewelry.
Oh, that's fucked up.
You can't fucking do that. You can't do that.
And cowgirl shit is so specific. Like, you got initials embroidered on some of that shit. I'm sure of it. Yeah.
They're like wrestling boots. She probably had MG down the side of them. You know what I mean? Like, they're very personalized. And the cowboy stuff is pretty personal.
Said Nature Boy on the fucking television thing.
He said it's pretty wild. Also, a large gold championship belt my mother had for some reason. I didn't realize. I didn't know she had that.
In the shape of a bolo tie? That was weird.
Very strange. So, she has good reason to be upset. If I was Tracy, I'd be upset, too. That's my mother's stuff.
Curious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's her mother, for Christ's sake. So, now, Danny, what makes her tick is she has a goal. She's a very goal-oriented person. She's finds something she wants, and she gets it. That's how she does it. Yeah. Which, I mean, that's how you got to kind of be sometimes.
Hell yeah.
Her goal is the strangest goal I've heard, and I bet. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here. Out of the hundreds of thousands of people that are listening to this right now, I bet no more than possibly one person listening will be able to relate to this. Maybe one.
Relate to it?
Or, I mean, have the same goal as her. Maybe one, and I even doubt that, honestly. I doubt the one. If you are the one, please hit us up on social media and tell us, because I will be shocked. But she is trying to get into the Olympics.
Oh.
Okay, a lot of people trying to get in the Olympics, but not in what she's going for. Not in, the backstroke or like a uneven parallel, whatever the fuck's.
Yeah. Not even curling?
No, dressage.
Yeah.
Which is, if you don't know, dressage is, you ever seen that really weird shit where horses are dancing for some reason? You're like, what the fuck? And there's music playing, and they like put like one hoof up in the air like 3 times, then come down, then go up and like kick in the air and come down, and then do like a little jump, and they do like this weird prancing and shit. It's the weirdest thing that super rich ladies do.
I evidently don't watch the Olympics very much.
I don't know if this is on, like if they air this in prime time. Horse dancing. But that's what it is. It's making horses dance.
It's not the lead-in to Michael Phelps swimming?
I think so. We got the horse dance and then the dolphin swim after that. Remember that thing in Phoenix that there was a billboard for like 2 fucking years?
Or some shit like that?
That's like what it is. It's horses doing like dances and shit. Like they prance weird, then they put their paws up and
Is that
their
shit?
hooves up.
Their paws.
I think their paws.
And their claws.
Yeah, that's like That's like when they go around and the figure skaters do like ice shows. That's, I think, dressage people. I think they put their horses in that, probably, I would imagine. What else do you do with a fucking horse that dances? You can't race it.
Paws and claws, boys. Paws and claws.
Yeah. You can't have kids ride. You can't just have it hanging around. It's always doing weird dances and shit. No one's going to know what to do with that horse. It's all fucked up now.
Because, I mean, like, when you do something over and over and over again, sometimes out of the day, like, you'll find yourself just doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like golfers, like guys that golf. Sometimes they'll just be standing there and they fucking drive right there in the fucking grocery store. Like,
they're just
asshole.
Like balanced this way. Yeah, if you were a baseball player, you'd probably be constantly trying to make sure your back elbow is. Yeah.
Does the horse just out there in the corral by itself just start doing that shit?
I think you have to turn ABBA on for it to really to get the most out of it. Like you turn on the ABBA and it really starts grooving. It starts doing its thing.
Do they do it to like a specific song?
It's the Mamma Mia soundtrack, I believe, is the only thing that they'll dance to.
It's only that soundtrack. That's it.
There was no dressage before that came out. That was the thing. And then once that came out, then the whole industry blew up once ABBA.
Are you sure they didn't do it to like the Who's Pinball Wizard or some shit?
I'm sure there could be a separate sect. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert in this at all. There could be a Tommy that really puts together the whole situation. I'm not going to say there isn't.
What a stupid fucking thing.
That is.
I can't believe it exists.
Imagine the time and money you have to be able to go, I'm going to make this fucking horse dance. Imagine what a weird thought that is. I have so much extra time and money. You know what I'd like to see? A horse dance to ABBA. That's what's going to happen.
Make this motherfucker dance like Chris Brown.
Whew, that is dominating nature right there. That's not natural at all.
Yeah, we've got to be over. You know what I mean? The end is nigh. If you've got if we're making horses fucking dance,
and they get medals for it and shit. Like it's not just a thing that happens. It's organized and
you win a medal and then you have to pay taxes on that medal. That dead ass serious.
But then you can do fucking Chevalier or whatever that shit's called.
Cagliavali? I don't know.
Caglivivier.
Caliente? I'm not sure.
Oh my God. Caliente. So that's what she wants.
Wow.
And she's so focused, she even wants to move to the place where you go for dressage.
Is it?
There is one place that you really go for dressage.
I can never guess.
You don't know where to go for dressage? Wow, that's weird. I would think
found
that
out it exists.
Yeah. I guess the place you go for dressage is Palm Beach County, Florida. That's where all the dressage is happening, obviously.
The capital of assholes.
Yeah. Where they decided we'll make horses dance. And then so they moved down there to Florida. Using the $1 million settlement from the death of Maggie Green. So, I mean, they have money now. They bought a house. They bought a horse property.
Hell yeah.
Gonna raise horses and do horse stuff, and then she's going to, make them dance, and that's what they're doing here. So, this neighborhood, they bought the horse property, and it's a horse neighborhood. Which I didn't know existed, but there's 22 miles of horse trails that don't intersect with any roads. So
How the fuck do you do that?
I don't know. You'd really have to get a piece of paper out and a pencil and really work on that one pretty hard, I think.
It's like that kids menu
a Denny's
meal.
maze. Yeah,
and try to figure. That's crazy.
Like a Denny's placemat maze. That's what you're doing there. Wow,
22 miles.
22 miles. So they purchased real estate worth around $1 million in this equestrian community. And Green's going to train her horses, and that's what they do for a living. And then she also does dressage. So she basically is up at 5 a.m. Ray built her a workout room. She gets up at 5 a.m. She works out, trains, gets outside, does all-day horse trainings until it's dark outside. She's training horses.
Is she doing this for other people's horses, too, or just her?
Yes, that's their business, too. So
right.
She has other people's horses, and then she's training hers in dressage at the same time, and she's just all day, all night. That's all she cares about is horses.
Wow.
So the only thing they really do for fun is they found a little outlet, Ray and Danny, called the Cowboy Action Shooting Club.
Yeah.
Which is a bunch of people who dress up like they're in Tombstone.
Oh, boy.
It's all period attire. They hold regular meetings. It's period attire, cowboy stuff, and they participate in shooting competitions using replica firearms from the Old West. So they all dress up like 1880s, and they all give themselves a cowboy nickname, and they have these targets up, and they do these quick shooting competitions. That's what they do. It's for speed and accuracy. That's
Stupid.
the whole thing. Yeah, it's
What a waste of time.
well, I mean, she's making horses dance, so you have to have the time. She has the time. Let's be honest.
She is burning all kinds of finite shit around here.
That's what I mean. She doesn't give a shit. So they give each other or they have their own nicknames. They give themselves nicknames. She goes by, this is basic, but it's kind of hard not to do, I guess, if you're, she's not a comedian or anything. She goes by Danny Oakley, like Annie Oakley.
Yeah, of course.
Makes sense. Ray doesn't even give it that much. He's like, well, I like in Tombstone, that Doc Holliday seemed fun. So he just calls himself Doc R. Green.
Yeah.
I'm also Ray Green, though. I ain't trying to.
He's not taking this very seriously.
I don't put airs on for nobody. I'm also Ray Green. I'm a basic guy. And if you lead me to your alligator, I will train him. So they have friends named Jerry and Karen. And they say that Danny was a real natural in the shooting club. And within a very short amount of time, she became the top shooter at the club.
She's the winner.
She's excessively competitive, too. She's very competitive, very type A, very I'm going to be the best, which, I mean, hey, good for you. So she's out there shooting. Her friend Karen said, at the time, I was the top shooter of the club, and she just soared right by me.
Soared.
I mean, on wings of fucking...
So much better than me.
Yep, so much better. And her husband said she really wanted to win. That's Jerry. So she won numerous competitions. She's much better at it than Ray.
Really?
Because Ray, though, is the thing, and everybody said Ray didn't care about winning. That wasn't his thing. He was there to have a good time, period.
Yeah, I mean...
he liked to socialize.
We're hanging out.
Yeah, he liked to socialize. He liked dressing up and playing with old-timey guns. He thought that was fun, and,
Yeah.
I'm sure there was like a 19th fucking hole also afterwards where they had a bunch of beers while they're dressed up in cowboy gear. That's probably part of it, I assume. That's why wouldn't you? So,
and if you're all together somewhere afterwards, like that leads to questions, and then and people are like, "Oh, look at you guys! This is so cute!" And then, now there's conversations happening.
Yeah, there's friends, and everybody's having a good time
in the 50s.
Yeah, there's a lot of socializing in this club. Yeah. It's as much to hang out and be a social part of it as it is for the competition. So 2008, though, things start going a bit awry for them on the financial side because if you remember in 2008, the economy collapsed, and specifically the real estate economy really took a shit, which is bad for people who are heavily invested in a horse property and have a second mortgage on it.
Those houses dropped in value first.
Yes, absolutely. And Bob Stevens, one of his friends that talked about the alligator, he said it was just devastating for Ray. The horsing market fell apart. Never mind the housing market, the fucking horsing market was a problem. I didn't know that was a market, the horsing market.
If you think the horsing market's shit, wait till you find out about the houses.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You're going to be living on a horse, so you better be able to buy one. You're going to sleep
Everybody's got a house, and those shits ain't worth nothing right now.
Yep. Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. The most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad.
Right.
There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So yeah, if you're having problems with your house, your horsing isn't what you're thinking about.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
Apparently people didn't have money for horses, and the whole horsing and dressage industry fell apart.
Oh, no.
There's no time and money now to be dancing horses around. That's for good times.
What am I going to do with all these? What am I going to do with all these hoof boots?
all these hoof taps that I put on them. My horses tap dance, but they
got a lot of blue suede tap shoes for horses.
Making a horse dance is some serious Last Days of Rome shit, though. You know what I mean? That's like it doesn't get more Last Days of Rome than hey. That amazing, majestic, beautiful animal, we ride it, we use it for work, we do all that. What if we made it dance for our pleasure? That is not just because it's entertaining to me.
If this all falls apart, you guys, be proud of us. We got to horse dancing.
We got to horse dancing. Yeah, we got all the way there.
That's amazing.
That's something. That's some kind of society. You know what? Yeah, I'm not even embarrassed anymore. For our society in general, because we
had horses dancing.
We really built it up pretty good.
We had bears in the fucking circus riding bicycles. We've done great.
We had toilets that flush and horses that dance. To me, those are two big human accomplishments we should be very proud of.
Pugo bye-bye, guys. It's amazing.
Poop and you press a handle and it goes away, and then clean water fills its place. And horses dance. You can shit while a horse is dancing and then flush it away. That's how great modern technology is.
Let it all blow up. Who gives a shit?
Jesus. So Bob said they were using their second mortgage to pay for their first mortgage, and it was just a disaster. So they struggled to keep up with their bills, basically. They still attended cowboy action shooting club matches, You need some outlet for your aggression, I guess.
Yeah.
But they would try to make money now off the livestock. Their friend Karen said the chickens would lay eggs, and she would bring eggs for everybody, and people would buy the eggs just to try to help them out. And, they're like selling livestock that they normally didn't do just to try to to spin the plates until things hopefully the ship gets righted. They do get a little bit of some help here. They get hired by their neighborhood, the horse neighborhood, to become the landscapers, to take care of all the common areas in the horse neighborhood. Which
There's
I
a
assume
lot of land.
Yeah, I assume that's pretty decent money for all that 22 miles of horse trails, and you'd have to keep that trimmed so that things don't grow into the trail and stuff. So
how does that not exist for like dirt bikes or some shit like that? A neighborhood of just 22 miles of horse trails?
They do. Remember we had that was one of the things to do in a recent episode. Remember they had that was one of the things. You just show up and they had shitloads of trails to ride around in, and then you camped. That was part of the.
Yeah. It was side by sides and shit.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's what it was for. You could dirt bikes and four wheelers, whatever you want.
I'm talking about a neighborhood where you just go in your house and then rip that shit out back and go through the neighborhood.
Probably because if you've got 100 people, if you've got 100 adults that care about dirt bikes, half of them would be stabbed to death in the first 30 fucking minutes that place was open. There would be Red Bull and blood running in the streets if that happened. Couldn't have that.
Monster energy drinks.
Are you kidding me?
The streets will run green with Monster.
Yeah. Monster and the blood of your enemies. You joking? That's why.
You're right. It would be mayhem, not just
a disaster.
Not just the dust. There would be so many fights.
People would be jumping their houses and then punching a guy when they land. It would be a disaster, dude. That's what I mean. Everybody would be stabbing each other.
The noise
in the streets.
alone, people would kill each other.
3 o'clock in the morning, there'd be God damn it! People would be losing their minds, losing their fucking minds, man. So. Ray is mowing the shit here, mowing the property. Their homeowners association hired them, and then they're also he's also doing work for individual neighbors, yard work for them. They're landscaping in case they want extra money. Dave, his friend, said he had the contract to take care of the right-of-ways, mow the grass, take care of the ditches. They asked Karen because Karen was friends with Danny. They said, "Did you get any sense that Danny kind of maybe thought it was a step down?" Cutting the grass, doing this.
It's humbling,
Karen said she didn't think so. She said that she didn't think that Danny was like that at all. That didn't seem like the way she was. She seemed pretty down to earth. She wasn't materialistic or status driven, so it seemed to be fine. Now, Tracy doesn't think so, though. Tracy said she believes the only reason why Danny wanted to marry her father was for his money. She said that Tracy at the time didn't know that her father didn't have any more money and that he was doing all of this.
What did they pay for this house?
Almost $1 million, in the million range.
Jesus.
And it's worth probably half of that now. Right. So at the time, and not now, but then. The problem is Tracy didn't know all this because Tracy can't get a hold of her father at all.
Really?
Because Danny and Ray share a cell phone.
Yeah.
And Danny blocked Tracy's number in the cell phone.
Oh, fuck.
So when Tracy would call, she couldn't get a hold of Ray.
That's not good at all. That's a dick move.
Yeah, when Ray would finally talk to Tracy, he would say, "How come you never call me? I miss you. Where have you been? What's going on? Jesus." Yeah. And she's like, "Well, I can't." Tracy said, "I got this message saying this phone is no longer taking calls from this number." She blocked my emails and letters. Tracy also sent him a certified mail Christmas card with pictures of her children, his grandchildren, and it came back denied.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she's like, "That's not my father doing that, I don't think." Tracy called it very cruel. She said, "It really broke my heart not to have my father in my life anymore." But she thought that Danny was trying to keep all the money to herself. She didn't want Ray giving Tracy any money. She said, "To lose my mother the way I did and now being separated from my father, it was very heartbreaking."
That's an excellent point.
That's terrible. Yeah, I feel horrible for this girl. That's awful. So that's sad. So they end up having to sell the house in a short sale.
Ooh, that'll fuck your life for a long time.
Oh, yeah, which a lot of people did back then.
I did that.
Happened too.
Yeah.
It's a very common thing. Nope. So they were struggling. And at the same time, around this exact same time, Danny finds out that both of her parents have terminal cancer at the same time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So everything is kind of imploding here. It's a real Titan submersible of a situation going on here. There's problems.
Yeah.
So, they both had cancer. Karen, her friend, said, I think she felt that it was her place to go up and take care of her parents. And besides, there's no place in Florida for them anymore because they didn't have a home anymore. So Danny ends up moving in with her parents to basically take care of them as they die. She goes all the way to Indiana to do that. Dillsboro, Indiana, to be exact.
Oh, hey. Yeah.
Hey, look at that. Look where we came
to
back
see them off, more or less?
Yep, to take care of them and help them through their hard times here. So that's what she does. At one point, Dave said, quote, Ray had asked a couple of his friends to come over and help them load some of the big items out of their house and into a moving van. He had misplaced the box that had his personal items in it. So Ray misplaced his stuff, and he asked where it was. He asked Danny, have you seen my box? And she said, I got a fucking box for you. Let me tell you something. No, she said, Dave said, and she went off on him, berating him, belittling him in front of everybody. I made this comment to my friend, and this comment haunts me to this day. He said it wouldn't surprise me if she doesn't kill him one day.
Really?
That's what he said, yeah.
How
so
bad could it have been?
She just was like kind of nasty to him about a box. Doesn't seem murderous to me.
Call
but
him stupid, dumb.
I'll kill you in your sleep.
You fucking moron.
I mean, what else? Yeah. So she ends up moving to her parents' house there. Raymond stays in Florida for a while.
Really?
He lives on, basically sleeps on his friend's couch, and he still does all the landscaping work. He does all, even though he doesn't live there anymore.
Can't quit your job. Yeah.
He just sleeps on a friend's couch, and Dave said that Ray would just send his paychecks to Danny directly in Indiana.
Wow.
So
well, he has
money.
A contract, so he's got to do it for a certain amount of time. Otherwise,
that's the thing. He's got to do it. I mean,
money.
I'm sure he could just move, and they'd find someone else to mow the lawn. It's not like, but still. Dave said, I've literally seen him live off cold cereal. He would make a meal out of bread and water if he had to because he had no money to live. He'd just give it all to her.
It's a tough man.
He's down there, just down there on the couch and doing all that. During this, though, one nice thing, this guy who he's staying with ends up getting Ray like a burner phone, basically, like a cell phone. So Tracy is able to get a hold of her father now. And they get to reconnect. Tracy said, we finally got to talk almost every day. We were finally able to have a relationship again. So that's nice. Then Bob Stevens does something very nice and gives Ray a plane ticket to Texas to go see his daughter and his grandkids.
Wow. What a guy.
He gets to do that. It just sucks that a guy like Ray, who's, worked pretty fucking hard his entire life and, jumped out of a goddamn airplane and, he's done a lot. And this poor guy has to sleep on a couch and depend on the charity of his of his friends for him to be able to see his grandkids. It just sucks, It's a shit.
Yeah. I mean, welcome to 2008. There was a fuckload of those people. That's
it
too
just
bad.
sucks in general,
Yes, overall, that's so shitty. That's what
that's how it happened. So Bob Stevens said, I gave him the trip on his birthday, and he flew out there and had a great time with his daughter and his granddaughter. It was the first time he visited them for the first time in 8 years. So, that's and Danny was not happy about that, by the way, that he went to see Tracy. Not thrilled at all.
Not thrilled about his birthday gift.
So I don't know what would be your thing to say to get mad? How dare you see your grandchildren? Like, that's a weird.
Yeah.
I don't get what you're mad at. He didn't spend any money. He didn't do. Doesn't make any sense.
In a controlling, shitty relationship, it's probably something like you used that time to go there when you could have come to see me. That kind of thing.
I guess, but he didn't give me a ticket to come see you. He gave me a ticket to go there.
He gave me a
free.
ticket to see my grandkids.
I don't know what her argument could be to be upset. Like, what do you? I'm mad at you because
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank of why
You're there and not here, or
yeah.
you could be working, or
yeah, you could be working more. Like, that's the only thing I can imagine. So I don't know
Yeah.
what's up with that. So Danny is in Indiana, and while she's in Indiana, she, rather than connecting with somebody from her past, she connects with somebody from the Cowboy Action Shooting Club instead.
Okay, yeah.
And starts talking online every day, emails and calls and all that sort of thing, to a guy named George Mann, who is one of the members of the shooting club. And this is anything in 2012, any way you could communicate, they were communicating. So that's what they're doing. You want to know his shooting club nickname here?
Sure do,
George Mann.
Yeah.
It is Angus McNasty.
Yeah.
Angus McNasty is his name. So there's that. Anyway, you got that.
McNasty.
McNasty. Angus
Yeah.
McNasty.
Oh, God damn it.
He's gonna do you. He's gonna do you from behind, wearing a cowboy hat and spurs.
Yes,
Still, that's what that
for
sounds
sure.
like.
Is he trying to make it sound like a dirty butthole? Is that what he's trying? It feels like it, right?
Yeah, I think he's trying to sound like he's like, he's the dirty cowboy.
I'll get it in your stink star whether you like it or not.
Yeah, right in your Dillsboro. I think it's one of those. Right on in there.
Yeah.
So they exchange hundreds of emails and you fucking name it, man. Emails.
Really?
And spend hours on the phone, and they're just talking and talking and talking. I mean, they've known each other for years from the shooting club and everything, but when they hadn't talked, individually until she went to Indiana, and that was when this all started. George is married too, by the way.
Oh, attaboy, George.
He's not even single.
Hundreds of emails?
Hundreds of emails, which they stack up quick if you're talking to somebody. Like if you're talking
reply
back and
could just
forth.
be one yes. Yeah.
That's what I mean. They could be doing that sort of thing, like an email. Sure. I don't know why you'd communicate like that when you could just do text messages or instant messages or a million fucking apps or this, that. Yeah, anything. So George said, one day out of the blue, I get an email. We ended up calling and we just kind of clicked off.
Gross.
Which sounds dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds like you need to clean up after you've clicked off, I feel like.
Why is that his hook with being McNasty? He makes everything sound disgusting.
Everything sounds sexual. Even his Arby's order. It's just sexual anyway. Anything.
Can you leave
possible.
a little hole in that and fill it?
Just fill it with roast beef with meat.
Can I get a beef and cheddar, but like make it drip?
Make it drippy. So they're clicking off. That's nice.
Yeah.
They communicate pretty much every day, multiple times a day, most of the time. Yeah, later on, somebody said, quote, it wasn't X-rated explicit. It was sexually suggestive. And for proof, I have a little excerpt of one of their conversations.
Hey.
This is why it's very risky to ever send anybody back and forth stuff like this, because when you're doing it, nobody's dead, nothing's happened, everything's fine, and then a couple years later, somebody's dead, and two dickheads are on a podcast reading your exact words and making fun of you for it. So be careful.
You don't know how murder's going to touch your life.
Nope.
And when it does, they could be looking back dozens of years.
You never know.
Yeah.
Just be careful who you correspond with and how is all I'm getting at. So this is between George and Danny, okay? Here we go. This is Danny, her part.
She starts it.
Quote, curled up by a fire, under a blanket with nothing on underneath the blanket, sipping hot chocolate. Can you top that? That's her.
What?
That's her message. Okay.
Yeah, I can
it's
top
an email.
that.
What a weird,
filthy around here.
What a weird thing to email too.
Yeah.
Email just seems like business. It seems very weird to just like.
Did she hit her little signature at the bottom?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sent from my fucking blah blah blah. Sent from my Android.
Danny, horsewoman with her phone number.
Yeah, and a picture of her with a horse. He responded with, he's not very good at this, Angus McNasty.
No.
He responded with, quote, nothing can top that. Wish I were there. Which is not what she wanted you to say.
No. You were going to get an out-of-office reply for that.
Yes. Yeah, you're getting gone for Labor Day weekend. See you on Tuesday. That's what you're getting.
Nothing dirty. Your
Nothing
name's McNasty. Be nasty.
Wish I were there.
That's not good.
To which she said, anyway.
Gonna watch a show now.
See you later, I guess. That's what she said, I think, to that, because you're not giving me what I need.
Law and Order's on, gotta go.
So, old Angus McNasty said, because they were like, aren't you a married man? And he said, well, you have to understand, attractive women, I tend to be a little more flirtatious than I should be.
Weird.
Like most straight men are. Yeah, that's
right.
the problem.
You like boobs? Weird. Unbelievable.
I got this weakness for things that make my pee-pee hard. It's strange. Yeah, dummy. What are you, 4? That's what I'm saying. Obviously.
Yeah, it makes me want to touch it.
Oh, just diddle on it. So they never had any physical relationship, he says, though, at all. Yeah. He hadn't even seen her since, she moved to Indiana. They were just doing all that shit. He said, quote, I flirt. I think it's cute. Cute. Angus McNasty is cute.
I think it's flirty vibes cute.
Cute. Cutesy. Cute like a puppy. Yeah. I flirt. I think it's cute. I think it's funny. It means nothing. And also, his wife and he are divorcing later on, too, as a result of this.
Yeah, because flirty is not cute. It doesn't mean nothing. It means, given the opportunity, I'd show you my dick.
Quote, wish I were there.
Yeah.
Where you're nude and under a blanket. How's that?
Yeah, if his wife read that, she'd go, why?
Yeah, gee, what you gonna do?
Why do you wish that?
Yeah, huh? What's that? You guys gonna play canasta? What's going on here? Didn't think so.
You want to put marshmallows in that hot chocolate? Is that what you want to do?
You gonna turn that checkerboard over and figure out what the fuck Othello is? Yeah, do it. Knock it out. Go crazy. That's what you were doing.
There's not a wife on the planet that wouldn't ask, why?
Yeah. Gee, what you going to do when you get there? Huh?
Nothing under it. What are you going to do?
Fair question. Very fair question. Oh, my God. So in 2013, both of Danny's parents die pretty close together.
Yeah.
So one then the other. Raymond's going to move from Florida to Indiana to be with her now.
Oh.
Okay, he was waiting on her parents to die for some reason. So I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah.
Danny is about to get some land inheriting here. She's about to. I could have said that way better. She's about to inherit some land. Danny's about to get some land inheriting to her here. There. Jesus Christ. I don't know English.
Over. You're about to inherit it.
Wish I were there. That's about as good as Angus did. I just did. Yeah, I'm a moron.
If what you're going to do is anything you did with me, you're going to finger around for 5 seconds, then you're going to come really fast, and then you're going to fall asleep.
How about this? Pray tell. What are we doing? So he moves up there, and her parents own 300 acres on a mountain.
Oh.
And that's where, like, the farmhouse was and these properties, and there's 3 kids, so each kid gets 100 acres. That's how this works. Not bad. And so the farmhouse on it, though, well, the way their 100 acres, there's a big, giant farmhouse that's falling apart. It needs to be renovated. The ceilings, if it's not safe to inhabit. So they're living in a rusty single-wide in the yard.
Oh, God damn it.
Rusty single-wide trailer in the yard. Yeah. That's where they're staying while they figure out how to get the house done. So that's what they do. 100-acre property. The driveway's like a big, long driveway with a gate across it because it's, so animals don't get out and shit.
Right. Yeah.
It's a big property here. Tracy said, quote, she was in control, meaning Danny, anytime she's around my father. So moving back to be with her, I felt I was never going to hear from him again.
Okay.
That's tough. She wanted to run this property as a horse farm. That's what she knows. She knows horses. So Ray, there's no money in that right away because they're starting it out. So it's not like they can both make a living off a horse farm. So Ray has to get a job, and he gets his commercial driver's license and starts working as a trucker.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, I need something else to wrestle. How about a big rig?
Unbelievable. Yeah, gators ain't big enough. I need thousands of pounds behind me.
12 feet. What am I, pussy?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Give me
I need something with air brakes that can fail.
Yeah. I need something terrifying. Got anything like that? Oh, a truck. Okay. Yeah, Ray is just tough.
Yeah.
I'll handle that. So he's offered a job, and he when you're a trucker, apparently you get life insurance because, you know, there's a good chance you're going to die out there doing that.
Yeah.
So
fuck yeah.
It happens. So he gets life insurance, and he gets a quote from his company, and then he goes and gets his own quotes to see if it's better. And he contacted Select Quote Insurance to compare prices, and he talks to a guy named Raymond Kwong, Kwong, Kwong.
Yeah.
So Raymond Kwong, the insurance agent, and I'm saying Kwong because there's both Raymonds and they're both Rays. I don't want to be confusing. So Ray and we're going with Ray and Kwong here. They're the team.
Yeah.
Kwong asked Ray if he would mind if Kwong sent him a complimentary quote for your wife as well. He's trying to upsell. That's all he's doing. Yeah, I'll sell you more. What do you want?
One policy is cheaper than two. Fuck.
Let's do it. So he said, sure. Yeah. Kwong said he would provide quotes for policies ranging from $100,000 to $500,000.
Okay.
Raymond also said, hey, I'd like to get an insurance policy for my daughter, Tracy, to provide some security for her children in case anything should happen to her, which is a really responsible and kind thing to do.
Thoughtful, sweet thing, yeah.
So Ray says, though, he doesn't want Danny to know about the policy for Tracy because Danny would be angry about that he's spending money on that. So he asked Kwong, whatever you do not send any documents to my house with Tracy's name on them, because it'll really put me in a world of shit. So he said, no problem. And the package came and obviously had Tracy's shit right in there. Immediately sent it right to his house. Thanks, Kwong.
Yeah.
So
great work, Dick.
It's sent to the home. Danny herself, she didn't even trust Ray at that point. She took it upon herself to call Kwong and say, is Ray trying to purchase a policy on Tracy? And Kwong put two and two together and went, oh, he didn't want me to send that there, and I did. I fucked up pretty bad. I better try to help
this
now.
This is that ration of shit he didn't want to get. I'm catching it. Oh, I got it.
He said, you don't want to know what she's going to say. Now I get to find out. Okay. Excellent.
I'm about to find out what she's got to say.
He figured it out, and he said, no, not to my knowledge. I just thought, he might want a quote. And so I worked one up for him because, hey, why not? I'm slinging quotes here.
So I found her social and her address and her name.
You know how it goes. Yeah, worked it up. But that was his excuse. Like, I was just trying to sell another policy. That's all. So Danny then, she is all freaked out, and she calls Angus McNasty and tells him, and a bunch of other people too, that she is very worried and suspicious that Ray is going to try to obtain a large insurance policy on her life, which she does not want. She said, I'm young and healthy. I don't need a big insurance policy. So, I don't know what he's trying to do. Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, it's just Kwong trying to sell another policy. It's all. I mean, it's not. Ray wasn't like, I need $5 million on my wife right now. It wasn't anything like that.
Ray K's got some kids. He's trying to put them through college. That's all.
That's all. He's an insurance guy. Yeah, you're trying to. You want fries with that? It's the fucking insurance version of. Can I supersize that for you, or whatever the shit. So, January 2014, Ray and Danny get divorced.
Oh,
but not because they're having problems, for financial reasons.
Oh,
because they learned that if they weren't married, Ray would get a shitload more money in Social Security benefits stemming from his wife's death.
Really?
He's leaving tons of money on the table being married, so they get divorced so he can collect more money. It's just to help. They still
that?
They figured it out. I guess probably an accountant probably told him when he did his taxes. They probably said, that you're completely getting way less money than you could be.
$800 a month,
Yeah, so they end up doing they're still living in the trailer together. They have a normal relationship, but just that. So May 26th, 2004, or May 27th, 2014, I apologize here. Danielle says that Ray is dead.
Oh?
Yeah, that Ray is dead. Not only dead, but murdered as well. Been murdered. Yep. That's what she says here. She knows. Yep. She said that she contacts family and friends to tell them of Ray's demise. Cop calls, hey, sorry to tell you Ray's dead. Yeah, he's dead. He's been murdered. He's been killed. And they were like, who could have killed Ray? Everybody liked Ray. You know, what's going on? And she said, I know. You know who killed him, though? You know who killed him?
Who's
Our
that?
60-pound adopted German Shepherd named Jazzy.
What?
Dude, the pictures of this fucking dog. You saw the pictures of this dog. It is a sweet-looking dog. Absolutely a sweetheart-looking dog. It's like snuggled up with them, and they're like in his face. And plus,
They got their faces next to it.
yeah, not only that, I
Yeah.
get that a dog can snap sometimes, but this is a guy who can take a 12-foot alligator and put it in a barn.
Yeah.
A
Yeah, he's been to
60-pound
Vietnam twice. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of a dog.
A 60-pound dog killing him seems like, wow, what that dog must have been. What is it on? Did you give it like
That's a
PCP or
hulked up-
something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Steroids and PCP, and then
Yeah.
said, go to work, little guy. So, yeah, that's what she said. She calls up his work, which is the Rule or whatever, however you say that, ROEHL trucking company, and reported herself as, I'm Danielle, and, Ray has died as a result of a fatal accident over the weekend.
Yeah.
And then she pretty much just hung up.
Wow.
Bye. Click. And
I
they were
gotta
like,
go.
Yeah, they're like, I guess we need somebody to do that other route to El Paso because I don't think Ray is.
Yeah.
She just called him in dead, so I don't think he's coming in today. No, probably not Monday either. She
Yeah,
said. I don't think it's.
I don't know about the rest of the week.
I'm not sure. Then she called back the same day.
Yeah.
She called back a little letter. Yeah, Danielle again. How you doing? Yeah, I remember Ray's dead. Yeah, you know that and everything. Well, let me figure I'd fill you in on some details.
Okay.
She said that he'd been killed by her rescued German Shepherd. It attacked Ray's throat and ripped it out right before her very eyes.
Wow.
She watched the whole thing happen.
My God.
Wow, what a vicious animal. Vicious.
It's a dangerous animal. I'd have questions. Did you put it down? Did you shoot the dog? What'd you
what
do?
happened? Did you put it in the barn? Did you teach it to dance? What'd you do? Maybe she should teach it to dance. That could help, maybe. There could be like a...
Yeah.
Maybe that's what she needs. Like, I've seen those movies where kids are having problems and then some fucking white lady comes in and teaches them all how to fucking
Fixes
dance.
everything,
And
yeah.
Dude, everything's fine after that. They go on to college and everything's good. So maybe if you do that, it'll work. So... suspicions here. Ray's family's suspicious, especially. Right. They're like, a dog killed him. That doesn't make any sense. Especially doesn't make any sense to Ray's 84-year-old mother. Mm-hmm. This poor woman. She's 84. She's got to deal with this. Yeah. Betty is her name, of course. 84-year-old Betty. Yeah. She said she called the sheriff's department and said this is from the recording, quote, I need to get some information on my son. My daughter-in-law called me this morning and said that he was killed yesterday by a German Shepherd dog. The dog jumped up and grabbed his throat. Then she said the dog killed my son yesterday, a German Shepherd dog. Why would she call me with such a story if it didn't happen? I mean, yeah, that's some far-fetched shit. Exactly.
So those are all fucking great questions, Betty.
Who would make up some crazy shit like that?
Right.
That's not a good story to make up.
And then the police are like, we haven't heard this story at all.
This is, wow, weird. This is strange. Think someone would have notified us of this.
She's called nobody but the family and the job?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, just he's dead. I mean, who else can you call? I guess you got to call the cops.
Yeah.
The cops, the ambulance, the morgue, or somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Tracy said, my grandmother had called me at work and told me that Danielle had said the dog killed him. Tracy said, animals like him. How can a dog kill him? This didn't make any sense to her.
Right.
She's like, this guy can make a wild horse fucking do what he wants it to do in 10 minutes. A dog's going to kill him? Give me a break here.
Sure.
So May 28th, so the next morning at 2014, two Ohio County Sheriff's Department deputies go to her home to do a welfare check on Raymond. This is the Ohio County Sheriff. Yeah, it's Ohio.
Ohio County.
Ohio County, yeah. They head here to the home to do a welfare check on Raymond.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's do a welfare check. What do you say? Because they've heard from Betty that apparently he's been murdered. But Danny never called the cops.
Right. The cops don't have any notification about murder except from family saying they
that's
got
it.
notification about murder.
So when they get there, no Ray, no Jazzy anywhere. And Danny's just going about her day. She's fucking with horses. She's like, hedge trimming.
She's doing it.
Just having a normal day around the property. Okay. So they said her sister was there. Her niece was there. They're just sitting around talking. And the cops came and said, yeah, we're doing a welfare check. We'd, like to get a hold of your husband, Ray, so we can just make sure he's okay. And she said, oh, he's not home.
Oh.
They said, okay, well, where is he? We'd like to get a hold of him. And she said, well, he's doing his job as a truck driver. He's out trucking right now, so he'll be back in a few days. He's over the road. And they're like, okay, that's it. And she just went about feeding her horses, engaging her sister in conversation, like, yeah, have a good one. Yeah, no, he's gone now. Bye. And just like ignoring them.
He's not here right now.
They're like, okay. So they turn around, though, and they look in the driveway, and there's a fucking giant 18-wheeler sitting in the driveway.
Yeah.
And they're like, isn't that his truck? And she's like, yep. Yeah. And they're like, well, how the hell is he on the road if that's his truck? And she's like, I don't know. Maybe he borrowed somebody else's. Beats me.
I guess he's got lots of them.
I guess he got more and just completely like goes about her business like nothing happened.
Those things are $500,000.
Yeah. They're like, okay, she called the job, called the mom, said a dog killed him. Now the cops show up and he's out on the road trucking, but his truck's here. This is something's not adding up somewhere.
It's not jiving. Yeah.
No, and they didn't know too. They started thinking that Betty is 84 years old. Is she senile? Did she lose her? Did she imagine this or something and call up? So they don't even know, but they do know that there's a big truck on the property. So they are suspicious of everything here. So the officers have his cell phone pinged because this is the 2010s. You can do that. They're like, we'll find out exactly where he is if he's over the road, and we'll get a hold of him. So they ping his cell phone. It comes back to being on that property.
Oh.
on his home property there. So they're like, okay. So they return a couple hours later with the knowledge that his phone at least is on the property.
Yeah.
And they say, look, we have evidence that says he's here. His phone is pinging to the property. We can't find him. There's rumors that he's been murdered and killed and all this type of shit. So we'd really like to look around for him. And she said, absolutely. She was sitting on a lawn chair out in front, I guess. And she said, you can rip the trailer apart. Go ahead, look in the farmhouse. There's 100 acres. It's big, but I mean,
search it all. Yeah,
you can have at it. You can search high, low, up my ass, in my fucking shower, wherever you want to be. Except there is one place I would say you're not allowed to search, and that is, you see about 30 feet away that giant metal box that's like one of those big tool boxes that sits in the back of a truck, of a big pickup truck there, the big ones. That box sitting there, you can't look inside there.
Everywhere else we can?
That giant coffin-sized metal box, not allowed to go in there, but anywhere else on the property.
Everywhere else is fine.
Anything. Look through my underwear drawer. No problem. Out of that box.
Just right there? Why?
That one. Well, she said, I can't let you do that because that's Ray's stuff in that box, and I can't give you permission to search through Ray's stuff. Obviously, it's not mine. Clearly. Okay. So they said, okay, that's not suspicious or anything.
Not at all.
So that seems fair. So they go to the box, and I'll show you the picture here. You can see it. The box it's this sitting there. There's two latches on the box where the lid comes down.
Right.
One latch, as you can see here, is padlocked, and the other one's open. So the padlocked side is down, and the unlocked side has about, an inch of open space where it's sticking up. And there is flies covering this box and pouring in and out of it at all times.
Weird.
Flies. Fucking flies.
Don't look there?
Don't look in there, whatever you do. That's Ray's stuff, so I can't let you look. Anywhere else except that fly-covered coffin-sized box about a fucking 30 feet from the house. Don't
Whatever's
look
in Ray's stuff is spolt. We should probably open it.
Yeah, maybe, but who knows? So they go, all right, sure. The detective said, she said it was Ray's box and couldn't give consent for anyone to look at it. It had a padlock on it, but it wasn't completely closed on the end, and there were flies, like we said. And they could also smell what smelled like decomposing flesh coming from the box.
No.
So they go, okay, well, we're going to call in and ask for a search warrant. So they get a search warrant for the box because she said, nope, not letting you search it. She sat there in a lawn chair just hanging out, like drinking fucking iced tea, just hanging, not even giving a shit. So they come back, they pop the box open, and on top are carpet scraps and rags and all sorts of stuff, cleaning supplies and things. A lot of them have a lot of blood on them, by the way.
Oh, that'll get
then they pick all that up, and they find Ray's body in there, crammed, smushed into a fucking metal box, a toolbox for a truck. She's smushed in there. And on top of him, by the way, is a .38 pistol with 10 spent shells in it in a Ziploc bag.
Oh.
So whoever killed him was very neat in packaging up all the evidence for the cops already. She might as well like wrote a fucking date and time on it and sealed it for him.
Her idea was, I'm going to tell them it's Ray's stuff, and they have to get his permission.
And then they can't find Ray, so they'll never get it.
Genius.
Hey, we don't know if she's guilty or not. Who knows?
Yeah, but...
yeah, exactly.
This is crazy.
It's not looking good.
No.
She's told multiple stories that all were untrue.
Yeah, but why start with there's a gun in there. Why start with a dog ripped? What is happening?
There's a dog that ripped him out, and then this is just a box of evidence. It's the body, the murder weapon, the cleaning supplies.
Yeah.
It's like if the cops loaded up a box and let's get everything of evidentiary value from the trailer. That's what they did. She just did it all for them. Yeah. They can just take it right to the prosecutor's office and they can just start labeling it Exhibit A, Exhibit B, because it's fucking all there. So they find her, they find him, and they return to Danny and go, we're done with their search now.
Yeah.
And the detective is asked, when you told her we found him, how did she react?
Right.
She should be like, what? Oh, my God. The detective said she really had no reaction. She was like, okay. Like, I thought he was on the road, but I guess not.
I mean, what's the other reaction to have, though? Like, oh, my God, he was in with his own stuff?
I mean, well, if you're going to try to say you didn't do it, you really should. I don't know. Or you go, that's right, because I put him there, because that bastard, you know what I mean? There's okay isn't the reaction,
though.
That's
not it. No.
That's not it. Whatever. She didn't think that through, I don't think. So they go, well, since we did find him and you were like 30 feet away and saying we shouldn't look in the box, we assume you might have some answers. So, what maybe happened here? Now she changes her story again. Oh. There's no dog. There's no any of that stuff.
His
now
throat's
she's
intact?
Throat's intact. Yes, he's got 10 bullets in him, though. That's the problem.
Oh, dear Lord.
He's got 5 in his torso and 5 in his head is the issue.
10 shots.
10 shots he's been. And we'll get to his autopsy in a second here. But they said now her story changes, and she said she was forced to shoot Ray in self-defense.
Oh.
That's what happened, yeah. The detective said she began to explain that there were instances of abuse, that this had begun in Florida and wound up here. And they said she kind of quickly glossed over the actual shooting of Ray and went right to why she had to do it.
Oh.
Which, whenever that happens in an interrogation, that's usually a bad sign when people do that, because they'll tell you about the shooting and what happened because you're asking rather than trying to justify it. You know what I mean? It's even if there is a justification, they won't start with that. That's not what they do. It's not what innocent people do. So they record an interview with her on the property, and she said, and we'll get to that, she said that Ray's been physically abusive for years, tried to force sex on her several times in the days leading up to the shooting. They also recover, she has 2 different cell phones, a .38 handgun, which were, by the way, also in the box.
They're both in the box?
Both in there.
Yeah.
.38 caliber handgun, Ziploc bag containing the ammunition and spent shell casings and everything else. So she shot him, like we said, 5 times in the torso, then 5 times in the head with a .38. She said this was in fear of her life. She said she did this. She shot him 5 times in the torso with a .38, walked clear across the trailer, past the front door to the other side of the trailer, far side of the trailer, emptied the gun, reloaded it, then walked back across the trailer, past the front door again, into the bedroom, and shot him 5 times in the head in self-defense. And he never left the bedroom.
Self-defense is like... You got no way out, right? Like you're cornered. You're pinned in a corner. You gotta lash out.
Yeah, you shoot 5 and then you bolt for the door.
Yeah,
you do your what you're trained to do in your cowboy quick action shooting shit, and pop, 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 and then you fucking take off.
Get out the door and run. Yeah,
you get away from it. You don't go reload and come back. If you have time to do that, she had time to eat a bowl of Apple Jacks. Like she could have done anything she wanted to. So she did all of that. She placed the empty cartridges in a plastic sandwich bag, placed the gun in a small bag, dragged Raymond's body out of the trailer, put it in a large metal storage box that had belonged to Raymond. Then she removed the sheets and blankets and cut out portions of the carpet where Raymond's body had stained it. This is what like Gacy did. This is like crazy.
Cut out portions of the carpet?
The carpet where he bled to death on it. She packed the carpet pieces, sheets, blankets, her sweatshirt, cleaning supplies, everything into garbage bags, placed them into the box with Ray's body, then locked the box with one fucking padlock.
Yeah.
Used farm equipment to move the box 30 feet from the trailer.
Start up the tractor.
Moved it 30 feet from the trailer and went, that ought to do it.
Man,
we'll never
you're
find
afraid
them there.
For your life. You do some wild shit.
It's crazy. It's insane how quickly that happens. By the way, she did all of this. I don't know if you noticed the date or not, but she did all of this on the 12th anniversary of Maggie's death.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. Keep that in mind, and we're going to talk about that at the end a little bit and just talk about whether that could be... I don't know if he was sad and that pissed her off, or I don't know what's going on about it. But
that is fascinating.
That is extra, and that's a fact that we did not do for the live shows at all. There's a lot of facts that the live shows have to be quicker, and there's a crowd involved, so we can't give the entire everything. So it's kind of when we do it.
They died on the same day,
same fucking day, 12 years apart.
Year. Yeah, wow,
12 years. So the autopsy here, they said that the deputy coroner for the Hamilton County Coroner's Office, who performed the autopsy, testified that Raymond was shot 5 times in the head with 4 bullets entering the back of the head and 1 entering the left temple. None of those 5 bullets exited Raymond's head because her guns, all of them are the cowboy quick shooting kind. They're a slower shot. They don't have the a lower velocity slug. So they don't go through and through. They get stuck in you, which is bad.
Right.
That's not good. You'd rather have it come out,
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cash back really adds up.
Escape reality and immerse yourself in a gripping tale of mystery, murder, and romance with June's Journey. Join June as she unravels the truth behind her sister's mysterious death and use your observation skills to find hidden clues and uncover dark secrets. Plus, you get to explore stunning hidden object scenes, from New York parlors to Parisian sidewalks, as each chapter reveals captivating mysteries. How sharp are your observation skills? Put them to the test in June's Journey. Download for free today on iOS and Android.
So they also they said that entered the back of the head, 1 left temple, 5, none of them left. They also said most of the time the gunshot wound to the head would make someone instantly unresponsive. They also recovered 5 bullets from the torso. He'd been shot twice in the back with the trajectory moving from back to front and downward. Downward's important, by the way.
Yeah, I mean she's elevated.
So the 3 bullets entered the left side of his torso, one of those having first passed through his left arm. So you think about how that's going, okay?
Yeah.
They opined here, the medical examiner opined that the gunshot wounds to the torso would not have been instantaneously fatal, and although the time of survivability would vary from person to person, generally a person would survive a matter of minutes, and speech and movement could be possible. That's important later. They said they were not able to determine in what order the 10 shots occurred. He ultimately died from multiple injuries to the brain, lungs, diaphragm, and other organs. 10 shots with 38 all over you.
Just tore him apart.
Shredded him, Swiss cheesed his fucking insides, basically.
No shit.
So during this, they ask her give an audio recorded statement. Obviously, here she admitted she shot Raymond, but she said it was self-defense.
Right.
She says, "Quote: He walked around naked, slept naked, walked around naked all the time, just naked. Okay.
Yeah.
He's pulling me to him." He's like, quote, "Let's go lay down." That's what he says. He's trying to force himself on me. I don't want this, but I don't know what to do. She said that every time she would refuse him, Ray would retaliate. She said he'd come up behind me and put his arm around my neck, and he was squeezing me incredibly hard. I couldn't breathe. She said that she liked to sleep on the living room couch alone, and that led to confrontation as well.
Yeah.
She said, quote, "He came in and he laid right on top of me. He had his forearm pressed against my neck, pushing on me. And I was like, 'What are you doing?' kind of gasping for air. And he's like, 'I just wanted to hug you.'"
Yeah.
Quote, "You don't hug people with your arm in their throat like that," she said.
That's true. Yeah.
She's got a point there.
She's saying something truthful at the moment.
Totally. So she told police that on the day this happened, she woke up around 6 a.m., and she had to use the bathroom in the master bedroom, and Ray was sleeping.
Okay.
So she said she was going to sneak in there, tiptoe in, use the bathroom, and try to sneak out before not wake him up, basically, because obviously he'll jump up with his dick out and attack her. So.
Yeah, he'll try to hug her wrong.
Yeah, we're going to lay down. So she said she went to do that. As she was walking into the bathroom, just at 6 a.m. with sleep in your eyes as you're just trying, that 6 a.m. pee is not you're not real alert when that's going on.
No.
So
only thing you're concerned of is the pain in your kidneys.
Oh, God, make it stop. She said that as she went in, she did notice that he had a locked, cocked, and ready-to-fire revolver on the nightstand between the bed and the bathroom.
Did you notice that?
She did a quick inventory. No, I assume it's not. The lights aren't on in there, probably, if it's 6 a.m. and he's sleeping. Curtains are drawn. You're really examining. It's not a quick tiptoe.
The only inventory I'm concerned with is the probably 18 ounces of urine that I need to get rid of right now.
Can I get the lid up? Yes, good. I'm in. I can do this. If not, I'm pissing in the tub. So,
what is it, 38? Cocked and locked, ready.
Cocked, locked, and ready to go. Okay, let me note that as I pee. So she said she peed, and then she left the bathroom, and as she tried to sneak out, she bumped into Raymond, and he was standing
there. He is.
Ready to go. And she's bumped into him, and he just looked at her and said, "I'm going to kill you. You need to die."
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. She said that she was in fear for her life.
Yeah.
I mean, the legal definition of I was in fear for my life.
Yeah.
She said as she turned her body, Raymond fell onto the bed because his back of his legs were leaning against the bed.
Yeah.
So if you lean with back of your knees against the bed, a toddler could push you and you'll fall onto the bed.
Sure.
She said I could easily knock him down. So she knocked him down. He fell onto the bed, but then lunged toward her.
Yeah.
It's at that time,
the springs
she said,
will push you back.
Yeah, she bounced right back up again. It's at that, you've seen like wrestling, the ropes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. You bounce right off them. She said at that point, she grabbed the revolver and without thinking, just buried 5 into him, just like cowboy action style.
Wow.
Pow. 5 in the torso. So, smoke in the air and everything.
Yeah.
She said that didn't stop Ray.
Really?
Oh, no, he was still alive and moving. He was trying to move around. So out of fear, she ran all the way to the other side of the trailer, past the front door, emptied the gun, reloaded it, ran past the front door again, returned to Ray, and found him seated at the foot of the bed.
Oh, now he's pissed.
So again, instead of leaving, she said that she could see some blood on his left side, but she said that he again told her, "You need to die. I'm going to kill you."
Yeah.
I've said this the first time. He didn't listen, so.
You think I'm kidding?
Think I'm bullshitting. I'm not. and lunged toward her. So then she shot him 5 more times in the head. She had no choice.
Yeah.
And he slid to the floor. And she's such a good shot that even a moving target coming at her in a dark room, she can just not miss a skull.
5.
All 5 right in the head. 5 in the back. And then the back of the head is pretty impressive, too.
She got him to come around. Yeah.
To have someone lunge toward you and be able to somehow matrix around him and shoot him 5 times in the back of the head is pretty impressive athleticism.
Yeah.
She does make a horse dance, so she can do anything, really.
She got some of those Who Framed Roger Rabbit bullets to
come
on
did.
back. They spun around. And
I think that's the one of the JFK bullets is involved in this thing here. Talk about magic. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, that's what she said. He finally slid to the floor.
Yeah.
And so they said, okay, all right. So later on that day, they bring her back to the house and they said, would you do us a favor?
Yeah.
It's just real hard to get a sense of time and space here. So what if we just video you? You just reenact this for us and show us exactly what happened. Which, these video reenactments, by the way, are really helpful investigative tools if people will do them, if they're willing to do it, because they haven't worked it all out spatially. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when they start
doing
hypothetical
inside their head,
yes,
and make it believable via words. But when you got to actually make it happen,
show how it happened.
Let's go.
That doesn't. If I fall, he's not going to fall that way. Then how would I shoot him here? None of it works out.
Yeah.
To watch a person try to conform their story to this as it happens,
working on the fly. Ooh,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Anytime you get any videos you get to see of that, try to watch them because it's really funny to watch people fall apart. So she said again, she tried to do this, and so she said, "quote So I'm tiptoeing." This is her in the video demonstration.
So I'm tiptoeing.
I picture her. So I'm tiptoeing. I picture her like a dressage horse prancing, tiptoeing. I'm being really quiet. And Ray gets up from the bed and he says, I'm going to kill you. You need to die. His catchphrase. He had a T-shirt that said it. And sometimes he would just point to it. But a lot of times when he was naked walking around, he'd have to say it.
No T-shirt.
No T-shirt. So she said that, he kept a loaded .38. She saw it. And she said that he started to reach for the gun at that point.
Oh.
Yeah, she said, quote, so I grabbed the gun and I took his shoulder like this, and I grabbed him like this, and I tried to get him off balance and threw him on the bed like this. And she said, well, he fell more on his right side, actually totally on his right side, which didn't make any sense to the way he was leaning, which is why the detective went down the way he did, which is not the way you'd go down. She said his legs were up. And as I fell on him, my hand, I don't know if you can see, my hand was like this, and motioning with her hand like it was a gun. There's a great shot, and we've showed it in the live show, of the detective sitting there on the edge of the bed pretending to be Ray, and Danielle standing there pointing her fingers at him like a gun. It's fucking never. If you're ever accused of anything, never do this, because that screenshot in court will make you look so fucking guilty. It's not even funny, even if you didn't do it.
Yeah. Pointing a finger gun at a cop on a vent.
Not good. So she said that, and at that moment, she said she shot him 5 times, took the bullets to the torso. She said, I don't even remember pulling the trigger. I don't remember pointing. I don't remember hearing gunshots. She said, but the struggle continued.
Oh.
She said, she said that, he started to come after her, told her several times, I'm going to kill you, you need to die, like we said. So, she doesn't remember. She said that later on, she remembered seeing blood on the back of his head. She said he started sliding down the bed. His legs were here on the side of the bed facing the wall. And the detective says, sitting? And she says, yes. And then I got really scared because he said, I'm going to kill you. And he's whispering, I'm going to kill you. You need to die. She said that's when she ran out to the back bedroom and got 5 more bullets. She said, and I loaded the gun and I said, what do I do? This is her exact quote on the video. And I loaded the gun and I said, what do I do? I'm scared to death. I'm in fear for my life.
Yeah.
I'm the exact legal definition of self-defense. I should probably kill him. Wow, that's what she said in the video. She said he started to kind of crouch over and lean toward me when she got back to the room, I guess. Yeah. So I put my hand out and he started to get up a little bit. But I don't remember pulling the trigger or hearing the gun, but I do remember hearing him going down. She said he collapsed to the bedroom floor dead after she shot him 5 more times in the head.
Jesus.
Yeah. So this looks terrible based on everything she said.
Real bad. Yeah.
Nothing lines up correctly.
No.
So the cops say, wow, we really got something here. Her lawyer disagrees, though.
Really?
Yeah, her lawyer, Delmar Weldon. This guy, you got to have some serious balls, old Delmar here, to be say some of the shit Delmar has to say in open court, man. I mean, it's got to be like...
Del? Yeah.
He said, quote, she reenacted every step of that morning in the location where it occurred to the detectives. That is incredibly compelling evidence that she was telling the truth.
Oh.
Because she did a bad reenactment, you know.
Yeah.
The volcano that exploded on those early morning hours, that's what led to Raymond attacking Danielle. And that's what forced Danielle to use lethal force to protect herself.
Oh.
Yeah. She also had sent a series of texts to her friend in Florida over the course of the weekend of the murder. On the day of the murder, she also told Angus McNasty that Raymond was irate because she had been packing his things and told him to leave. And because she sounded afraid, Angus suggested she contact the police, but she said no. She refused to.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do it. So, I mean, I don't know.
All right. Let's get back. Back to sexting.
Yeah, let's get back to that. Oh, can you top that? So, so the medical examiner watched the video, the reenactment video, to see if the wounds line up, and just see if everything there. The medical examiner was asked whether her version, quote, would be consistent with the injuries and entrance wounds that they saw, and she said that Green's scenario was, quote, not consistent with any of the injuries of the body.
Matter of fact, it's fucking ridiculous.
It was very silly. The state actually, based on the tracks of the bullets and everything else, and also based on the fact that they found the fucking bedspread out there full of bullet holes. The bedspread has a bunch of bullet holes in them, like close-range bullet holes with burn marks around them and
Not
shit.
good.
So their theory is that she shot him while he was sleeping in bed.
Jesus Christ.
They think she just came in and put 5 in his torso while he was sleeping, and then he tried to get up, like just out of a human reaction to try to stumble, and then she went back, came in and emptied 5 in his head.
Oh my God. While he was struggling, gurgling, and trying to breathe?
Yep, because several bullets passed through both the sheet and comforter.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Now, she'll say, once they say that, she'll say, well, when he got up, he had it wrapped around him.
Oh.
Because, cowboys who are in a murderous rage, they get a little chilly, though. They wrap the blanket around them when they get up to kill. Hey, I'm going to kill you. You need to die as soon as I get a little warmer. Because is it chilly in here? Let's turn the heat up a bit.
If they haven't had their range coffee and bacon, they got a little, it's a brisk chill. Yeah.
And late May, too, is known as a very chilly time. Always very cold in late May.
Yeah.
So that's not great. And also the detectives and the district attorney bring in a crime scene investigator and talk about blood spatter. They testify that this guy testifies he observed expirated blood on the leg of a TV stand along the lower wall areas, which is not consistent to where she said he was. Expirated blood, by the way, is blood that comes out when there's an injury and it comes out of your mouth or throat. So it's blood you cough up.
Forced out, yeah.
Yeah, it mixes with saliva and little bubbles form on it. Like when it hits a surface, it'll be a little tiny blood and saliva bubble, which doesn't hold as a bubble, and the bubble pops. And when it hits the surface, and when it pops, it leaves little tiny blood rings. Little tiny rings with little tiny stuff around it, because picture a little tiny bubble pop.
Yeah.
That little pop. So that's what you can see. So that's
Science
how you can tell.
Is fucking rad.
It's fucking wild. That's how you can tell it's not spatter that came out, but actually expirated from the mouth, which means his mouth must have been somewhere in that region to get it there.
Right. And he was breathing at that point.
And he was still breathing at that point. Exactly. So that says how that goes. So they said based on where he saw the blood, Raymond would have had to have been lying down and
on the
coughing
floor.
blood out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not what she says at all.
No,
she said he's sitting on the bed. Saying, I'm going to kill you, you need to die. So they also testified that some of the droplets found in the bedroom indicated that they were blood in flight, meaning it traveled a distance in a downward position. Now, they argue that this guy who says the blood spatter stuff isn't qualified as a blood spatter expert, and he shouldn't be allowed to even testify. That's what they say.
It's convincing the shit out of me.
They said that he seems to know some stuff. I don't know if he just watched a few episodes of Dexter or what, but he knows something.
It's pretty impressive.
He said, although Sergeant Weigel, that's the blood spatter guy, through his work experience and blood spatter training, may have been qualified, this is what her lawyer said, may have been qualified to collect and catalog evidence at the scene. He was not qualified to interpret or attach meaning to the blood droplets found at the scene and to testify to those opinions at trial.
Really?
I mean, if it's expirated, it's expirated, and, they're just saying he shouldn't be allowed to say that. So,
okay.
I mean, that's a fine argument. So the prosecutor goes, even if we gave you that, what about this? What about this?
Yeah.
And they find her internet searches.
Oh, we'll give you
one
the
of them,
blood spatter shit.
And they have the screenshots of her internet searches where she's in like a Reddit type situation, but for like outdoor people. And it says, if you shot someone in the head with a .38, would they die instantly?
Uh-huh.
Would it be lights out? And then she also did another search and asked people, how many shots would it take to kill someone with a .38? Like, could I kill them pretty easy, or how that would be?
Well, I mean, this was
like 3 days before the shooting.
Yeah, based on her field experience, I'm going to go with 10 shots, and no, it'll take a while.
It'll take a bit here. Yeah. So not only that, she also that weekend researched and read articles about how Gabrielle Giffords, the Arizona congresswoman who was shot in the face in that fucking parking lot in Tucson there, how she survived her injuries. Then in late April, and again on the day of the shooting, she conducted internet searches to learn how to change the bank into which Social Security benefits are deposited.
Was there search about Did Gabby Giffords get shot terribly, or is she an amazing human being?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Is she superhuman?
No shit. So, once she's...
God.
She's definitely arrested, obviously, here, we'll say, and taken in and all this type of thing. The daughter, Tracy Abbott here, this is Ray's daughter, said, my heart was in pieces, and I just prayed that he didn't suffer. And I think he seemed to suffer a little bit here.
It sounds like it was a while, yeah.
Her intended defense in court, because all that stuff's pretrial stuff. Do we let in the blood spatter evidence? Do we let in that? Her intended defense is... notice of affirmative defenses asserting that she intended to pursue the defense of insanity at one point.
Really?
She intended to pursue evidence that she acted in self-defense, including evidence of domestic violence under the effects of the battery statute, often called the battered woman syndrome. Okay. So she's saying it was temporary insanity from being a battered woman, is what she's saying.
He beat me crazy, and
battered,
I murdered him. Now I'm good.
Yep, she said that Ray had abused her and that when she learned that he was trying to obtain a life insurance policy on her, she feared for her life and thought he planned to kill her. And on the night in question, Raymond attacked her and she shot him in self-defense. That's what she said. That's her whole defense. And the bottom base of this is going to be dueling doctors here. Right. She's got Dr. Carla Fisher, who's a research psychologist, a law professor, and a domestic violence consultant. And Dr. Fisher talks to Danny here and talks to her about PTSD and has her do the self-reporting evaluation thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they said that she evaluated her by using the ABOC and the DSM-56 symptom inventory for PTSD. That's very technical shit for psychology, but if you're into that shit, you'll know what we're talking about. Yep. She opined that Green suffered from PTSD resulting from years of abuse, and that this history of abuse and PTSD caused her to have anxiety about her safety in the days leading up to the murder. She also stated that Danielle's PTSD symptoms resulted both from the past domestic violence and from the trauma of killing Raymond. Oh. She said that Green entered a traumatized state when she encountered Raymond attacking her that night, and the doctor determined that after the shooting, Danny still believed that Ray posed a threat to her, which is why she padlocked the metal box and placed it 30 feet from the home, because she was sure that he could rise from the box and get her again.
Yeah, she's swinging for the fucking fences, man.
That's why she put her gun and ammo in with it too.
Oh yeah,
to make sure.
so that he remembers what I did to him.
Yeah, because that's what I would do if
when he wakes up. I want him to see what I did, and I'll do it again.
No shit. That's why. I'll maybe put all the evidence in there also.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. The doctor concluded that Green did not plan on killing Raymond because those who plan to kill have rehearsed the event in their mind such that they are not traumatized by the killing itself. So there's that. So the judge is going to decide whether she can use that as a defense. The state brings in their doctor, Dr. Edward Connor. He talks about, he's a licensed psychologist. He notes the difference between psychology used in epidemiological psychology as compared to clinical psychology and forensic psychology. He states that PTSD is a mental illness and that in Indiana, one must be a licensed psychologist to make a diagnosis of PTSD, which that other doctor isn't. He also testified that Dr. Fisher did not follow recognized protocols that would consider reliability and validity scales or use a psychometric-based assessment in order to assess if the person is malingering or embellishing.
Sure.
And that's a big deal. Whether it's just a self-reported thing or they have ones that it's very specific to see if you're lying about it too. Yeah. All worked in there. And he said that the other doctor didn't do that.
So, and also he's saying that doctor isn't even qualified to say what she just said.
That's the other thing.
Wow.
The trial court finds that Dr. Fisher, the first doctor, is not licensed as a clinical or counseling psychologist, nor has she received training as a clinical or forensic psychologist. This doctor is a teacher, teaches as an adjunct professor, and independently offers what she characterizes not as a business or firm or practice, but as, quote, domestic violence consulting services. That's what she does.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either. So her testimony was that she learned to diagnose PTSD from graduate students who were performing a study of the prevalence of PTSD in the community. She testified that she only diagnoses abuse victims who suffer from PTSD and would not feel comfortable diagnosing any other mental illness or PTSD resulting from other causes. So she said, this is my area of expertise, is what she's saying.
Very specific, yeah.
She said in her deposition, I don't diagnose for the purpose of treatment like a clinical or counseling psychologist would do. I diagnose from a research epidemiological perspective, which means from a research perspective, which means it doesn't have to be
right. I'm doing this
accurate.
I only do this in a way that helps people get away with murder.
Well, that's just kind of saying I'm just fucking around. I don't do this professionally.
Yeah.
I just
just having some fun.
I dabble.
You know, I treat this like people in Florida treat shooting clubs. That's how I treat this.
That's all. You walked in and saw like an easel and some paints. Are you a painter? Not professionally. I dabble. You know,
having some fun.
Yeah, so this doctor explained that in some cases she does not diagnose but provides self-reporting measures to provide a sort of self-assessment.
Self-assess PTSD? What is this?
Yeah. When specifically asked about whether she diagnoses someone for PTSD or rather only assesses them to see if they have symptoms, she said, quote, well, it's kind of the same thing. Well, not medically, it's not. A diagnosis is very specific medically. The assessment is you go symptom by symptom and determine whether or not they have that symptom. And then there's a rubric essentially that says if you have enough symptoms in each category, that means you have the disorder. So to assess is sort of to diagnose at the same time. My fucking head hurts. Yeah, she does acknowledge that her domestic violence evaluation is not a clinical psychologist evaluation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they go through all this, and after taking the matter under advisement, the trial court entered a written order granting the state's motion that she can't use this as a defense, PTSD.
Yeah, we can't have this woman in here
because that's
She's
her best.
Right.
That's her best witness.
You could allow her, but she's going to get fucking trampled in court, and that's going to be terrible
It's going to be worse for her. Yeah, it's going to look worse. So they found that Dr. Fisher had extensive experience as a research psychologist, but that she had no experience or expertise as a clinical psychologist or forensic psychologist. She said that all the way she diagnosed or assessed her was not done according to standards recognized by the scientific community. and that the evaluation did not contain reliability measures and did not test for malingering, which would assess whether she was embellishing or exaggerating. So they bring in witnesses here. One is three witnesses: Angus McNasty, the mail lady, and Danny's brother Todd. Those are the three witnesses they got.
Uh-oh. That's not
okay. Todd Stanky is his name.
Yeah?
Todd Stanky, he testified that Danny had shared that on one occasion, he didn't see it, but Danny had told him about this years ago, that on one occasion, Ray Green had grabbed Danny's shirt and pushed her toward the wall.
Yeah.
Years ago at some point, she said. Okay. Another, which you shouldn't do. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying.
Was a goat eating it? I mean, what I mean? There's a lot of reasons for this to happen.
We don't know. But either way, she told him that. So she just, if your sister tells you someone's knocking her around, you believe her, I'm
going to have a problem with that. Yeah.
Definitely. So another witness, Frank Conway, testified that he saw Raymond express anger one time.
Okay.
Not to Danny in a completely unrelated situation, and actually in a way to defend Danny, as we'll talk about. Also, the Florida mail carrier testified that on 2 occasions she saw what Green thought maybe would have been a black eye on Danny's face.
Yeah.
One time she had a splint on her finger, too.
Oh.
And she said, "What's wrong?" Because she had an arm in her arm in a sling, too, once. And Danny told her that she fell off of horses.
You know what that means.
Because I'm teaching them to dance, so they can fall off once in a while. Not like that doesn't make sense.
She wasn't using that as like a "I fell and the doorknob hit me" thing. No.
No. That's what the mailman thinks.
Right.
The mail lady. So there's also a guy who says that one time Ray came over and demanded money for this guy owed Danny money for work she did. So Ray came over to fucking collect it. And this guy said Ray was a big guy and I felt threatened by him.
He was scary.
He came over, and collected money for, you owe my fucking wife money. That's when you get scary. When you're...
How about that check?
Hand it the fuck over. So there was also a lot of witnesses against the domestic violence claims, which you don't know what goes on in people's bedrooms at night and shit like that. You have no idea. But they brought in person after person who said that Ray was a gentle person, never saw any signs of abuse. His wife's family, his dead wife's family, said that she never said he abused her and he was a gentle guy and treated her like gold for 40 years and all that sort of thing. Everything like that here. So she's going to appeal the decision that she can't use battered woman syndrome here. Really? There's an appeal during the thing here. And they said the court affirmed its ruling, excluding Dr. Fisher's testimony as to her proposed opinions and conclusions relating to a possible defense under battered wife syndrome. So that's how that goes. So during the trial here, finally, they get to the trial. It's a 2-week trial, by the way.
Wow.
Yes. They do have the Sergeant Weigel, the blood spatter guy. He testifies over repeated objections to his qualifications, because they objected to her psychologist qualifications, and they're bringing in a blood spatter guy. So when elicited had he been a crime scene investigator, Weigel said he'd been a crime scene investigator for 10 years. He has experience processing crime scenes. He dealt with blood spatter. And in 2013, he received the required 2 weeks, which is 80 hours of training on blood spatter evidence. But as of the trial, has not taken the test to be certified.
Oh,
he's gone
through the course. He just has to, just got to do the pop quiz.
But he's not qualified. Didn't take the test.
Good point. Yeah.
The state asserted that it's not trying to have him testify as an expert, but rather as a skilled witness, which is that's the difference between diagnosing and assessing.
Oh, boy.
They're doing the exact same thing the defense did there.
It's exactly he's not professional. Just got he's been doing it.
He knows stuff. I wouldn't call him an expert, but he's pretty good at it.
He's skilled.
Yeah. That's wild. So he acknowledged to the Sergeant Weigel that he was not yet qualified as an expert and testified that the Indiana State Police had 2 blood spatter experts on staff. And they said that after he had viewed the scene of Raymond's shootings, that the Dean Marks, who's one of the state police blood spatter experts, said that he agreed with Weigel's original findings. So he said, do you think it's this? And the blood spatter expert said, yes, I do. I agree with you. So that's how it goes. So they argued about that. Next up is the blankets. They bring in the sheet and comforter and say, what up with that? Holes in that shit everywhere. The prosecutor said there were 3 bullet holes, and this one actually went in there and out here. It showed he was sleeping at the time.
Fuck.
Because none of them came out of him.
Yeah.
They said that's significant because she's claiming self-defense, which is absolutely right. They said it wouldn't be uncommon for her lawyer said it wouldn't be uncommon for someone to get out of bed and have a blanket around them. If they were in a murderous rage, it would. That would be uncommon.
Would. Yeah. It'd be weird.
Because you have your hands together in front of you. It's not an aggressive position.
It's very, it's
clutching a blanket to your chest like an old lady.
Yeah, how are you going to fight? I mean, you use your hands in a fight.
That's what I mean. The prosecutor said, I think that'd be highly unusual. He's about to attack her. He's lunging toward her, wrapped in a heavy blanket.
Right.
And that's her lawyer says that's what happened. Yep. Yeah. They also said, how is it self-defense if you're cutting out carpet pieces, putting a body in a box, and trying to destroy and hide evidence? And then, if she did kill him in self-defense, why didn't she immediately grab the phone and call fucking 911 and go, my husband tried to kill me and I killed her?
She never called them ever.
Never. Her lawyer said, to second-guess the things that happen in a moment like that, this life or death moment, it's unfair to say. Why wouldn't you do this? Why wouldn't you do that? She believed he could come back and get her, even after he was obviously dead. And
so
they
she
said,
gave him
what?
An unloaded pistol.
Unloaded pistols. I think it was on Dateline or something. They said, so like some horror movie, he'd rise from the dead and come after her. And her lawyer said she was living in a horror movie.
You get it.
You get it. You know.
So glad you're here. I wish you were one of the fucking jurors.
That'd be great. Angus McNasty testifies.
Oh, boy.
That's great. They got he's divorced by now, by the way, or in the middle of a divorce, I believe, while he's testifying.
He's reading text messages.
Yeah, no shit. They asked him, did you know that the divorce between Ray and Danny was coming? The financial reason divorce? He said, I knew that was coming, yes. She saw that as a way to get away from Ray eventually. She wanted a new life without Ray. So, yes. George said, though, that she didn't kill her husband to be with him. That's not right. That's crazy. Then they asked George later on, well, she Google searched what happens when you shoot a guy in the head with a .38. That doesn't look good.
Yeah.
George said, quote, she's on a remote property. You're a mile from the nearest person. No one's going to hear you scream. So we talked about self-defense. She was doing research on things that we had discussed.
He is saying bad things.
This is not helpful at all. Yeah. Research on things we discussed, like, you should keep a gun. What is it? Should I keep a .38 in my house? Will that kill someone if I shoot them with it? That's not how you do it. You're pretty sure it would work, I would think.
We premeditated this.
Yeah, it's just making it worse. He said she sounded terrified at the time.
Yeah.
Then he said, I told her to call the police. And do you know what she said?
What'd she say?
You should call the police. Yeah. She said, I can't. I'm on the phone with you.
The line's busy.
Well, I'll hang up. No, that's okay. And then after the death, by the way, she told George, she didn't tell George he attacked me. She didn't tell Angus McNasty he attacked me. I had to shoot him. She told Angus the dog story.
Wow.
So if she had told him that would have been a bolster to her case, but she lied to him even. So, yeah. Wow. He also said that their relationship was deteriorating, Danny and Ray, but Danny just needed help with her horses. So, yeah. That is a lot. Danielle had told Angus McNasty that Ray didn't like not having any money and blamed her for that and felt she owed him after they moved to Florida and used up all of his money.
Jesus.
I guess that he would get more angry and she would get more scared, is what she said. George said they had an argument in Florida, and he grabbed her and threw her against the wall. I think she truly feared Ray. But like I said, other friends said that is ridiculous. Never saw her with bruises, black eyes, never anything. She was out every day amongst people. Nobody ever saw her with anything. The defense says this, quote, saying the dog killed him, saying he's at work when clearly he's not, having him in a box feet away from their home. These actions were so ridiculous They're not the evidence of trying to hide the crime. They're evidence of trauma. The balls, you have to say, to come out with that in a fucking court of law. Holy.
Swing, Matamata.
Wow. Oh, my God. Then in closing, he says, all of us have the right to use deadly force, not to retreat. He said, how she understood the anger and rage that was in Ray Green, that's how she understood it. The defense asked the jury to look at her actions afterwards and ask if they make any sense. The body was put in a silver-colored box left 38 feet from the trailer.
38.
38, exactly. When police came, she gave them permission to search all the property except for the box. Then he asked the jury if those actions made any sense. Does that make sense? He said, does it make sense that this 49-year-old woman would be seduced by this 49-year-old and that she would tell him what to do? Does that make sense? That she would do all of this, put his body right there and not conceal him and not do anything? Quote, why would she do that? Then she calls the victim's family and his work and tells them a lie, a crazy story about a dog killing him. That's what caused everybody, including the police, to stop listening to her when she tried to talk about the abuse. But still, she didn't leave. And a few days later, she tells the truth, talking to officers voluntarily, and then they charged her. She stays there. She stayed on the property. It doesn't make sense. She doesn't try to take it to a sinkhole. She doesn't bury the body. That doesn't make sense. Nor does calling her employer. You have to ask yourself if that's something someone who planned this would do. Would she be so piss poor at murder if she planned it? Really?
Yeah. It's like he's rattling off all the things she does and looking her square in the face and going, why did you do that?
Yes. He took all of the evidence of the prosecution and said, yes, she did all that stuff. The only way you do that is if you were traumatized. Otherwise, It makes no sense. Or just terrible at murder and didn't think for a second that anybody would suspect you. That's what it seems like more to me.
And wants to make my life a living fucking hell.
Yep, that's it. And she probably figured his family wasn't around in Indiana, so they weren't going to come looking for him. She had a few days to figure it out, get rid of this box, and then just say he disappeared. I don't know what happened to him.
Weird.
Wow. So the verdict comes in, 8 hours of deliberation on this bad boy, by the way. 5 men, 7 women on the jury, and they decide she is guilty of murder.
Oh, boy. Yeah?
Oh, yes. Guilty. The prosecutor said that he choked out his last breath as his lungs filled with blood.
Jesus.
It's clear that this was planned because he was looking, she was looking into how to defend herself, how to kill someone weeks before, talking about the searches. Tracy said he was Tracy said he was a very loving father and grandfather. He was a jokester, loved to tell jokes. He was not a monster. He was not a volcano. He was very loving, and everybody was his friend. And Betty, mom, says he was always a happy kid. Fell in love with horses early in his life. She said, I shut my eyes and I see him in that box. It's no way for any man to go. So when they go to sentencing here, she can get anywhere from 45 to 65 years.
Oh.
Which is pretty good range, too, when it comes to getting out. So there's aggravating and mitigating. The aggravating factors are it was cold-blooded, pretty fucking heinous, nasty, tried to hide evidence, all that sort of thing. The mitigating factors are amazing. Her mitigating evidence is that she has no criminal history, which the judge said her first criminal offense is murder. So that really doesn't wash too well with me. I don't really care about it.
Feels like the whole event was very heinous McNasty. It's not good at all.
This is definitely a McNasty event.
The worst thing you can do to a person.
Fucking awful. So the trial court found that the claim that she was a victim of domestic abuse was not credible, and they did not consider that as a mitigator as well. They weren't allowed to consider that. So the judge comes in, you, ma'am, may fuck off 60 years in prison. So not the max, but pretty close to it.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So the reactions, the prosecutor said justice was served. He said Raymond Green was a loving son, father, grandfather, and soldier who served his country during the Vietnam War. Raymond Green and his family received justice today. Her, Delmar Weldon, the lawyer, said, quote, I believe the jury got it wrong.
It's
I believe.
still swinging.
Yep, I believe Danielle Green is innocent. And they asked one of Danny's friends, a woman who goes by Carol in the 48 Hours or Dateline thing, and they said, do you think justice was served? And she said, by him being killed, yes. By her being imprisoned, no. And Tracy said, the nicest man that would do anything for anyone suffered execution style. She is a monster.
Yeah.
By the way, where's Jazzy?
Yeah.
Can't leave this Jazzy hanging loose here. They never found Jazzy.
Really?
Which is good news, in my opinion. That's good news, because if she killed Jazzy, Jazzy'd be in that fucking box with Ray and everything else, too.
Yeah.
Think about it.
If she could fit.
And they searched the entire property. They searched everything. They never found the fucking dog. So the way I think it happened is she probably let the dog run off. And it's a farm area. So this dog probably went to the next farm. And we're just going to have a fantasy that Jazzy went to the next farm, and they went, what an adorable puppy. And they took Jazzy in, and Jazzy sat on a farm and ran through the fields until it inevitably had hip problems because it's a German Shepherd, and then it laid there and looked at the fields and loved life. And Jazzy...
She's still laying there today.
Laying there today because, Jazzy's only about like 12 years old or something. Jazzy's surviving and just loving the fall breeze at the moment. So that's Jazzy. Now, in prison, they said that since her arrest, she's been a model prisoner. The jail staff said that one lady, Bonnie Schreiner, leads a weekly Bible study course and says that Green attended every session, dedicating her life to the Lord while she was there and tutoring other prisoners as well.
What a gal.
So quickly with this appeal, she appeals on the grounds of the court. She argues the trial court erred when it determined that Dr. Fisher, her psychologist, was not a qualified expert. Yeah, they said that the Dr. Fisher testified twice in Indiana on state of mind and PTSD symptoms and how those symptoms impacted behavior. And so she should be able to volunteer, be able to testify for that. They found, though, that she's not licensed in anything, so that's a problem. And she said, I don't diagnose for the purpose of treatment like a clinical or counseling psychologist would do. I do it for more of a just kind of curiosity.
Hobby.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. So they said, she can't present trauma stuff like that. Also, they bring up that the blood spatter guy was not qualified. Also, the position of the body. Her argument is that the position of Raymond's body played a large role in the conviction because the positioning of the blood droplets on the lower part of the wall, coupled with the expirated blood on the floor, to which they testified, seemed to show that Raymond had been lying down and rolled onto the floor when he died. So they said that this doesn't line up with her stuff. So if they can get rid of him out of there and strike that, then all of that's gone.
Yeah,
then she can win here. So. They said that the sergeant went outside of his bounds when he testified, but he said he didn't testify that Raymond was in bed and rolled onto the floor. He testified that Raymond put expirated blood right here. That's it.
Right. That's all he said.
I don't know how he got there or why or whatever, but at some point he coughed up blood, and there's the fucking
right there.
There it is.
Yeah. And it's nowhere near where she said it would be.
That's the problem. She said this, this, and this, and they go, well, then why is he laying over here if you said he's on the other side of the room sitting up? That doesn't fucking make any sense. So Green did not allege that Raymond was never on the floor after he was shot, and considerable forensic evidence showed that he was. Furthermore, she states in her brief that as Raymond slid to the bed, he kept whispering that she needed to die as he was dying himself. I'm going to kill you. Also, too long of a sentence.
65 is too, or 60 is too much.
Too much here. Yeah. I'll read this from the court document. Turning to her character, Green lied to friends, family, and police after Raymond's death concerning his whereabouts, claiming, among other things, that their dog had killed Raymond. Yeah. Then, after the police had located the body, she admitted to police that she had shot and killed Raymond, but provided a version that Raymond was out of bed threatening to shoot her when the trial court found that not to be consistent with forensic evidence. So they said conclusive forensic evidence shows that the victim was in bed under a sheet and comforter when he was shot. That is the forensic done. No other reasonable explanation exists since all shots remained in the victim's body and shots were determined to have passed through the sheet and comforter prior to striking the body. Green at no time exhibited remorse as she spoke to police and others. She has not shown that her character warrants revision of her sentence. We do not find her 60-year sentence inappropriate. Now, they said that they didn't consider her mitigating evidence, that she was a victim of domestic abuse. And they said, well, we went through that. Sorry. Then there was a juror issue, apparently. A juror, one of the jurors here, they said that the defense attorney sought a motion to investigate what he said was an apparent non-unanimous verdict by the juror. He based the allegations on a conversation one of the jurors had with a court staff member, so like triple hearsay, claiming the juror spoke of conditions that caused a non-unanimous verdict. Quote, the juror related there was yelling, there was screaming, there was duress. Now, the prosecutor said that the statements were inaccurate, and what the yelling was about about the juror, quote, she didn't like the accommodations, and she didn't like how long the trial was. The juror complained the jury room was too small, jurors didn't have enough breaks, and that the jurors didn't receive enough meals. That's what the problem was, not duress about the case or anything.
She's
like
hungry.
That. She's hungry. So that is denied on the appeal there. Not getting that shit.
Because the gal wanted pretzels?
Because she wanted more snacks. More snacks. And you know what? We should have Netflix. We should have Netflix in the jury room, right?
This
Like we should be
room's
able
too
to kick it. So Betty, she said, quote, that's what I was praying for. She took a very nice man out of this world and then told stories about him.
Oh.
And so she will remain in prison here until, Jesus, who knows when. She's up for parole, I think, in like 40 years or something. Right. So at least till 2050-ish, she's going to be in there.
She killed a man on his widower.
On the anniversary.
Unbelievable.
I can't help but think maybe that had something to do with it, like he brought it up, or he was sad, or there was something, and she couldn't. There had to be something to do with that. It just fucking had to be. It's too much of a coincidence, or she's just fucking evil and was like, I'm going to line it up right on that same day. Really give Tracy the what for. Like, that's fucked up, man.
Certainly. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
so now Tracy, if there's any silver lining to that, at least Tracy only has to grieve one day. Jesus.
One day. Yeah, it's not spread over the course of the year, and
every
it's not around the holidays, which helps. But still, that's fucking brutal, man. So there you go, everybody. That is Dillsboro, Indiana. And if you had come to a live show this year, one of some of the live shows, because we hadn't played at all the live shows, you would have seen all the pictures that we were talking about here. Yeah. And you'd see the box, and you would have seen Danny, you'd have seen Jazzy, you'd have seen Ray. I don't have a picture of Ray wrestling an alligator, but I'd have showed you close to that. Yeah. And so that's why we say live shows are awesome, because you can see everything. Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed that. If you did, tell the world about it. Get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. Fuck, does it help? I don't know why, but it certainly does help. So get on there and do that. Also, listen to our other shows, because that really helps us too. Crime and Sports, listen to. We're doing an MMA fighter right now named Cedric Marks. It's a couple-parter, and this guy's like a straight serial killer, so check him out.
So super bad man.
Very disturbing shit coming up. So listen to that. And also, Your Stupid Opinions is funnier than we could have possibly hoped for. We knew it was going to be good, but Jesus Christ, is it good? And people have we've gotten the best feedback about it. So listen to Your Stupid Opinions if you need a laugh on your Monday morning. It's every Monday morning. Check that out. Listen, shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get tickets to the last live show of the year, December the 2nd in Dallas. That's it. So get in there. There's only a few tickets left, so get them right now.
It's a big theater. It's going to be great.
It's going to be a fucking blast, and we're leaving it all on the field, because that's our last show of the year. We're going home for the holidays after that, so that's it. It'll all be out there. And next month we should have possibly, they'll be definitely announced and possibly on sale, the 2024 dates. So we're cooking, guys. Not a lot of them, so you got to get those tickets fast when they come out. So check that out. Shutupandgivememurder.com is where you do all of that. Patreon.com/crime and sports. All your bonus material. We have so much bonus material here, and anybody $5 a month or above, you get access to everything. We do one crime and sports, one small town murder every other week, and we have so many of them. You get access to it all. That $5 will get you an immediate 200-episode back catalog.
Top that.
And then new ones every other week. This week, we're going to talk about a very tragic story. You know when you see a guy like strike out in the last strike of the World Series and he walks off all sad? Or like a guy's misses a Nick Anderson missing those fucking the free throws back in the day and shit like that. And you go, man, that's got to affect their personal life. Yeah. And then it really doesn't. You know what I
Chris
mean?
Webber
Normally,
had a fine career.
Donnie Moore, wow, exactly. He fell apart and his whole life shattered it like a pane of glass after his big screw up on a big stage.
Can't wait.
Then it's going to be a crazy story. Then for the Small Town Murder Show, we're going to talk about the Menendez brothers.
Oh, boy.
We dressed up as them. Now we got to talk about them. So we'll get into that. And also we have next couple of weeks, we have Love After Lockup coming up. We're going to have another prisoner dating game popping off pretty soon. So all sorts of fun bonus stuff on the horizon. Personal ads, you name it. Theme park disasters.
Oh, great.
We got it all. So check all that out. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And in addition to that, you're going to get a shout out where Jimmie will mispronounce your name like we're going to do in just a second. But quickly follow us on social media. We're at Small Town Murder on Instagram. We are at Small Town Murder on Threads, or at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. So check all those out. Follow the groups. Get in there and hang with us and keep doing it. And join Patreon so Jimmie can mispronounce your name. When will he do that? Right fucking now. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the people who would never, ever, ever murder their spouse and blame it on their sweet, sweet adopted dog. Hit me with them now.
This week's executive producers are Jordan Bennett, Kyle Norweg, and Jennifer Eckel. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
for doing what you do. We
You're
can't
awesome.
do it without you. And Simon becomes a citizen this week. I think Wednesday is.
I almost said of Canada. Yes.
Yeah, of Canada. Yes.
Canadian
exactly
and Canada. Yes, mixed together.
Other producers this week are Lisa G, Steve Schnell, Florida Evans, Dave Goldfarb, Jasmine Pretzel. Happy birthday, Jasmine. I don't think it's Pretzel. Oh, it's Pretzel. There it is.
Pretzel. No, she's our little pretzel. It's all good.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, our pretzel.
Jasmine, you're a big sourdough this year.
Oh, we love it.
Peyton Meadows,
salty.
Pussy Kicker from way back. What was that
way
from?
Back. Way back. Was that your stupid opinions, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it is.
Pussy Kicker from. All right. The Fratelli brothers, Janice Hill, Scarlett Horby, and Estevez Jones dressed to impress at a wedding. Sharon Jones and the Tartarian Empire. What are they? What is that?
I don't know. Something from Star Wars beats the shit out of me.
It's
one of those new Star Wars.
Something we need to know all
Some
about.
Mandalorian shit. I'm not sure.
Erica Bispochi and Seth Lacey. Betty Lichter. Nah.
Maybe.
Stephanie Johnson, Rucus Gomez, Angie with no last name, Kristen Sorrell, Nikki with no last name, Tyler Weingard, Christy Weigel, Buster Wollums. Hey, is that the cops in the cop from? Is that Willems? What was his name? Is that Willem? It's Willems, isn't it?
Willem Dafoe?
No, the cop from fucking The Simpsons. Isn't it Willem? I think it's
Wiggum.
It's Wiggum. There it
Chief
is.
Wiggum.
I'm close.
Yeah.
All right. Elaine Miller Bond, Laura Culp, Dominique Dow, I think, Joey Beers, Elizabeth Contreras Valise, Joshua Willard, Garrett Wright, Cammie with no last name, Sharif Williamson, Slade Hutcherson, Frank Morales, Amy Hintz, Jason Steele, Alexander Hopkins, Caleb Moulon, Nick the Nose, Robin Francis. Hey, Robin. Jeff Hilton. Hey. Yeah, Hilton. Siobhan Mann, Lily with no last name, Turkey Rosanna, Cheryl Fee. Oh boy, Kalinda Kinnaird, Hannah Jackson, Ian Blackburn. Who would go by Ian? Whoever.
English people.
All right. Colleen Murphy, Leah with no last name, Thomas Deaton, Drew Strait, Suzanne Bassett, Lisa Kaminsky, Chris Drain, Jen B, Meg M, Kate with no last name, Ronnie Best, Valerie E, Gina Musselwhite, Crystal with no last name, Melanie M, Sarah Hanselick, Mike Huff, Jonathan Gilmore, Jerry Muller, Joshua Scranton, Catherine Nelson, Fetis with no last name, Carrie Riches, Christian with no last name, Anthony Pyers, Christy Smith, Brett Daling, Ryan Moran, Sarah Chorn, Sandy with no last name, Zumi family. Thank you, your whole damn family. John Manning, Beth Christie, Steven Siegel, perhaps Seagal, Shannon Martinson.
Cool.
That would be the worst.
Get some
Sandy
of that money.
with no last name.
Some of that above the law money.
I would, yeah.
Whatever it was called. I don't remember. Fucking his shit. I never liked it. But
there was above
Under
the law.
Siege
There
money.
was,
Give me the Under Siege money.
Against the siege, under your mom.
Under Your Mom, I think, was his later work.
Sandy with no last name. Levi Reed, Deborah Peterson, Tiberius Grand Champ, Trey Patrick.
Under siege on your mom. Those are the two things I'm under. Siege on your mom. Sorry.
And now it's high blood pressure and cholesterol and can't get on a horse.
I'm definitely not on top of a horse. I'm under it all the time. Always.
I think that was the thing. He got on horseback in New Orleans and couldn't get down.
Yeah, they had to help him.
Trey Patrick, Tom Girl, Amanda Ray, Matthew Grattan, Lori Becker, Sandra Davis, Robin Weeks, Lamont with no last name, Swimmy Fishman, Stephanie Sears, Trayvon Jenkins, Colin Wood, Camilla Mendez, Amanda with no last name, Derek Vaughn, Janet Allred, Stephanie Shope, Joey Rains, Jennifer Fletcher, Scott Employ, Ty Cosby, oh boy, Arlene Osmond, Monique Cornelius, Monique, who's what? Cole Merberger, Ayana Royer, Mateo Alexander, maybe it's Matthew, shit. Ethan with no last name, Sean with no last name, Danielle Cormier, perhaps, I don't know. She's on Instagram. Thank you, Danielle. Yvonne Portra, Diana Jones, Aaron Curtis, Erica K, Mia Helene Bjorn, Chris Schmidt, Ox Baker's Eyebrows, Erica Borowitz, Lisa Joseph. She donated twice. I imagine she's got a patron for somebody else. Thank you so much. B Method, Austin with no last name, Chuck Green, Bruce Courier, Robert Dobolina, James Richardson, Candace Walters, Darylyn King, Holly McDonald, Kristen Grachala, Grocala, Amanda Narberg, Andrew Pearson, Todd Wall, Dennis with no last name, Rye with no last name, Patrick McHugh, Jason Tanulis, Jennifer Simon, Louise Morrissey, Jared Stacy, John Spotswood, Brian Lally, Ant Man, Brandon Young, Roscoe in Australia, Steamed Rabbit, Chris Reese, Benjamin Wetzelwini, Weltzine, Haley Haney, Hajney, all right, Ariel B, Mike Jewberger, that's not nice, Nick Weersba, It Do Be Froggy, Vicky Welling, Audrey Barnes, Joanna, Noah Jewski, Noah Nagana, Laura
not gonna say that
anymore. Abby DeShazo, Lindsay Anderson, Jason with no last name, Kata Jessa, Kata Nagana.
Kata can't read that shit.
Anthony Contino, Kadajiza, Josha.
Nice.
Kata Josha? What the fuck?
Hi.
No, that's just an H. H. Smith. Taylor Anderson. Samantha the Eagle. No, it's just Samantha Eagle. Lorenda Richter.
Samantha the Eagle. She really wants a nickname.
Samantha the Eagle. They Move. Giselle Grayson. Janky Puppet. JNE. Sabrina Hall. Deanna Veeder. Deanna Veeder. And all of our patrons, you're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. You amazingly cool, just great people. We
Wonderful
fucking thank the
people.
shit out of you. Thank you for all that you do for us. Keep coming back and hanging with us. You want to find either of us, very easy to do. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Drop down links, pow, pow, pow. Buy tickets, follow us, do all that shit. And keep coming back. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.